What's up everyone, how are you all? Today we are back with another blazing Naruto story. What if Naruto uses Aya? If you enjoy then please like, share and do comments. A 15-year-old blonde boy wearing black ninja trousers, a black jumpsuit with orange stripes going down on the sides, black shinobi sandals and a mask covering his lower half of his face was walking at night in the clan district. Why may you ask? Simple. Clans and other places usually bin their old scrolls, because they rewrite them for preservation purposes or other reasons. However, the blonde named Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, the Jinchuriki of the Nine-Tails Demon Fox, Kurama, was looking through the clan bins for those scrolls and other valuables. Going to the Nara clan bin, he rummaged around finding 2 scrolls of their shadow imitation being A, D and B ranks, which he luckily didn't have. He continued for another hour with looking at multiple clans, the library and hospital, with this being one of his lucky nights. 27 ninjutsu scrolls, 2 E ranks, 9 D ranks, 11 C ranks, 4 B ranks and 1 A rank. 7 genjutsu scrolls, 3 D ranks, 2 B ranks and 1 A rank. 9 taijutsu scrolls, 4 hyuga, 2 aburame and 3 from Akamichi. His biggest catch of the night was a fuinjutsu scroll for sealing away chakra pathways and how to do it with your own chakra, even if he had something similar already. He left for his base of operations, which was underneath the village. He still remembered the day he created this place. Flashback: Naruto is 9 years old and his collection didn't fit into his apartment anymore, even with him using sealing scrolls to store them. He had around 10,000 scrolls for Nin, Tai, Gen, Fuin and Ken and many more. He had them all sealed away in different scrolls to show where they originated from, such as clan, village, or general ones. From a young age he was interested in fuinjutsu and came up with an idea to have a base where he can train and store all of the items. He copied the shadow clone technique when he saw a Jonin using it, and with the help of some wind and earth jutsu, he created a base of operations near Konoha. It took him multiple months to create seals so the use of chakra won't be detected by sensor ninjas and silencing seals. After a year of creating the base, he started to live there and having a clone in his apartment to keep up appearances. Flashback end: to this day he still expands it and has multiple different seals like chakra absorbing to not have anyone find the base, teleportation seals similar to Hiraishin, sound counseling seals, seals that make the training field restore every hour if destroyed, seals that don't allow the decay of scrolls and many more. The base has a training field which is currently the size of 2 football pitches, a swimming pool with a waterfall for elemental and chakra control, training dummies and much more. The library was split by 4 levels and had study levels on each floor. The base floor where all ninjutsu, taijutsu, genjutsu, kenjutsu, medical jutsu and fuinjutsu that were not clan-specific but were also separated by their level from EA, and a section for non-shinobi subjects such as science, history, politics, geography and much more. The second floor where all clan scrolls from the use of Kekkei Genkai to their secret techniques and their styles. The third floor was every jutsu, especially fuinjutsu, was stored that Naruto created or changed. The fourth floor had S-rank scrolls which are clan secret styles, Kekkei Genkai, summoning contracts which he had 3 but not signed, such as gambling bears, crows and black cats from the Uchiha. That floor is the most protected, allowing only Naruto to get through and use it. He also had a place where he stored all of the artifacts and weapons he collected, and it was too protected from prying eyes. The living quarters has 2 bedrooms, a toilet with a bathroom, and a chilling area where the kitchen is located too. By this point Naruto considered himself a master of seals and has a deal with one of the only shops that liked him, to allow him to sell his seals secretly. He then places all of the scrolls that he found in a basket, allowing the clone that worked in the library to deal with them. He is still surprised that he has more scrolls than the Konoha library. Naruto is still thankful for the time he had put into it, as he is always on top of his class and always defeated the clan kids with the weaknesses of their styles. A massive boost to his library was from one thankful night, for him at least. Flashback: a 7-year-old Naruto was on his nightly patrol of the streets when he looked at the Uchiha district. He wondered why there was the smell of iron in the air. Being a curious child, he went in and saw a lot of dead Uchihas. The blonde heard rumors when he was walking near this district during the night about them wanting to take over the village and killing his Jiji and releasing the Biju from Naruto's body. From the pain the Uchiha police force caused him and the Uchihas that want to control of his friend Kurama, he decided on a plan that would cause chaos. As his project of collecting and learning from scrolls was still new, he decided to make his collection bigger as he then unsealed a couple of massive scrolls and secretly went to the library where he sealed every scroll away ranging from E to S rank and some artifacts he saw. When he found a weird fan, someone in his mind spoke, Kurama to be precise. "Hey kid, take that fan. Is there anything special about it?" asked Naruto, who would have taken it either way. "This is called the Gunbai. It has the ability to convert incoming chakra attacks into wind nature, meaning it reflects attacks to the opponents." Kurama replied, knowing its powers from past experiences. "Ah, okay. I wonder how that works and if I can create more." With that, Naruto took the Gunbai. With all of the vaults checked, he made 2 shadow clones which transformed into mice and him transforming into a bird with the scroll that contained other scrolls attached to his leg. The mice then made small fires which engulfed the library and some buildings to make a distraction from him. However, one of the clones also saw a couple of dead Uchiha's bodies. With it doing what it thinks it should do, it sealed 4 bodies into a scroll and scurried away towards Naruto's apartment. Itachi found that the buildings were burning, meaning someone has discovered him, and then he left not seeing the bird flying. When the Hokage discovered about the fire, he was mad that someone did it, but no one knew who. When the council discovered it too, they were in an uproar due to them losing all of the scrolls and the valuables that they could have gained. Danzo was also not happy as from the fire some of the Uchiha bodies that had the fully evolved Sharingan burnt, making him get the weaker Uchiha Sharingan. He also justified not finding a couple bodies due to the fire. When Sasuke was woken up from his trauma-induced coma, he was furious about Itachi killing his clan and taking all of the scrolls, so he couldn't be stronger to kill him. This created an opportunity for the villagers to make the young heir indebted to them, by spoiling him. Flashback end, he continued walking and seeing over 150 clones learning and mastering jutsus so he can use it without hand seals or with the least amount possible. 500 clones doing chakra control exercises from kunai balancing to elemental manipulation, as his chakra grew faster than anyone else's. 300 clones working on an elemental secret project. 10 clones reading history, politics, business, science and other books which can be in need for the future, but they also kept the library tidy. 20 clones studying fuinjutsu and creating more seals for future use. 20 clones throwing kunai, shuriken and other throwable weapons on stationary and moving targets. 50 clones sparring using a taijutsu style that he created to use speed, flexibility and his primary element wind to hit joints and disabling chakra pathways permanently. If need be, he wasn't strong without the use of chakra, so speed was his best bet. Then he has 10 clones studying and practicing a kenjutsu style called whirling wind, which is a style that is concentrated on swift fast cuts, with mainly strong offensive and some defensive moves. There were 20 more clones fighting with all of the jutsu combined and having them transformed in different sized opponents, all using different styles which he got from the clan scrolls. He was quite pleased with this. His collection of weapons is nothing to scoff at either. It may not be as big as the library, but it has many historical weapons such as Raijin no Ken, Sword of the Thunder God from the second Hokage, the Gunbai, Haramekure from the Seven Swords of the Mist, to name a few. He still doesn't know how he gotten it, he just found it, same as Raijin no Ken leaning on a tree near a campsite, so he took it. To say the least, the owners were super pissed. In all honesty, he liked to collect things and he know that he didn't steal anything except from the Uchiha clan. He was proud of his collection and no one also said anything about things being stolen. He really wanted to show it to his Jiji, after he passed the genin exams, and show off to him everything he could do, so he could get his rightful inheritance. He went to bed having a dream about ramen. Naruto woke up in his base remembering his lucky finds of the last night. He got the memories of most of his clones and rearranged them, being satisfied with his progress. Morning. Kurama, you ready for the genin exam? Asked Naruto. During this time, he quickly got ready and created more shadow clones. Finally, you will finally show those meatbags some of your skills. Kurama answered, being excited to actually get to see something interesting than school life or being in the base, training. Not all of course, just a taster for them to be more excited and for me to gain my inheritance legally. Naruto answered in his thoughts, I wonder what the Tami's gonna think of it. I really want to skin that human, his arrogance will be his downfall. Oh, will you show them your side project? The sub-elemental project? Yeah, but as you know I have wood, ice, lava and explosion releases mastered to a pretty good level. Hopefully soon, my storm release will be on the level of the others. He did not mention the jutsus he copied from the clans, as that would be his secret weapon that only Kurama knew about. Geez kid, I still can't believe that you have done that, but I want to see their faces when you show them how good you are kid. Just be careful kid. Those pesky villagers will be worse now. Kurama finally thought. Time skip, Academy. Naruto walked in with similar clothes to what he wore during the night. He stands at 5 feet 9 inches and is one of the tallest in their class, with sharp but warm blue eyes and a pretty muscular body but is in the perfect ratio for speed and strength. When he entered, he looked around seeing some of his friends and other students. Shikamaru, Choji and Kiba hit it off with him at the very beginning with Naruto helping Choji and Kiba train and gave Shikamaru a good run for his money on the shogi matches, even if he always lost. His eyes landed on Shino, a quiet but smart individual which Naruto respected and sometimes spent time with him talking about his bugs. Ino and Sakura were fangirls but for two different people. Ino was a fangirl, the useful kind, for Naruto as he saved her from bullies a couple of times and Sakura for Sasuke due to her mother's manipulations. Hinata was a quiet and timid girl that had a crush on Naruto. He knew that she usually follows him which made him really uncomfortable with that. He never speaks to her and usually teleports away from her when she stalks him. From that he used anti-Byakugan seals to not have any Hyuga spy on his base house. There was a weird kid called Sai. He didn't talk to him that much, but he was one of the strongest in the class. Finally Sasuke, he was a brooding and arrogant teen that thinks that everything belongs to him from the villagers spoiling him. This is also why he created an anti-copying seal to not allow Sasuke to copy his hand signs when he has to use a full jutsu. He walked up to his friends, Shikamaru who saw Naruto and grunts a hello to him and then falls asleep again. Choji and Kiba both said good morning and him replying with a nod. Naruto nodded at Shino who reciprocated the gesture. Kiba asked, with him being excited to actually pass it, you excited for the exam? Naruto with a knowing smirk, definitely, and there will be a surprise at the end so be excited. This piqued the three boys' interest but Iruka and Mizuki came into the room making everyone quiet down. Iruka started the written portion of the exam which Naruto breezed through and gave his answer sheet to Iruka. Iruka wasn't surprised as he knew Naruto will most likely get the Rookie of the Year award. He nodded and waited until everyone is completed. Iruka's opinion of the blonde at first was that he didn't like Naruto but after some time and spending time with the blonde, he saw Naruto as a younger brother. The next exam was the Kunai and Shuriken throwing exam on slowly moving targets. The civilian-born kids got anything from 4 to 6 out of 10. Choji got 7 tenths. Kiba got 7 tenths. Shikamaru scored 6 tenths. Shino got 8 tenths. Ino scored 6 tenths and for Sakura she got a point lower. Sai scored an 8 tenths purposefully missing the last two. Hinata received a 6 tenths. Sasuke went next and scored a 9 tenths and with that he went to Naruto and said, beat it Dobi. Naruto just replied with, you said something? With him finding it weird why he was called dead last, even if he never was at the bottom. Sasuke just face faulted and muttered curses that would make Enko blush. When it was Naruto's turn he got 5 shuriken into his hand and 5 kunai into his hand and threw them all at once hitting 10 out of 10. The Sasuke fangirls were accusing him of cheating and some Naruto fangirls cheered him on. But then Shino surprisingly interjected saying, Naruto-san always received full marks so I can't see him cheating. With that Naruto nodded a thanks to Shino which he nodded back. The taijutsu test was against Mizuki himself and the students must survive 3 minutes or until one is knocked out. Everyone passed except Sakura and some civilian-born. When it was Naruto's turn, Iruka began the match. Naruto noticed that Mizuki was using high genin speeds compared to low genin speeds and seeming to hold back some killing intent. So Naruto used this opportunity to block an incoming right hook, which later on he pushed his elbow up making Mizuki's chest open for a hit. With a quick upper punch to Mizuki's chin, he continued with a kick to the side of his chest, and when Mizuki came back from his shock, he tried to block a minor wind-enhanced punch, but blocking with his arm made his arm go limp. Using this chance, he stepped to the right and used another jab into Mizuki's shoulder. Mizuki was unbalanced once again. He tried calculating a way out of this situation. He tried to kick Naruto to gain distance, but the student caught his leg and pulled it, making Mizuki go towards him and hitting the back of his head, making him unconscious. This was all in a span of 30 seconds, making it the fastest takedown of this year. The blonde then had a small smirk and the exams went on. The ninjutsu portion was where Naruto and Kurama were excited about. It was simple: a henge, kawarimi and a clone jutsu, and for extra credit any other ninjutsu. Everyone showed of their ninjutsu skills, with some kids failing. Most clan kids showed an extra ninjutsu such as Sasuke with the great fireball jutsu, Shino with his bug clone, Shikamaru with his shadow manipulation, Ino with her mind transfer, Choji with partial expansion, and Kiba with his fang over fang. Sakura used a D-rank genjutsu with Sai producing an ink bird that made Naruto's interest in him increase. When it came Naruto's turn, Kiba, Choji and Shikamaru were wondering what Naruto has been wanting to show them. The first henge, without any cloud of smoke or hand signs, he transformed into the fourth Hokage, which impressed Iruka. Kawarimi, he swapped with a chair and back without hand signs or smoke, which further impressing Iruka. Then the clone, which he smirked at. Iruka-sensei, I want to show my extra ninjutsu with my clone part. Which confused the class and the teacher, but Iruka nodded. So first, he made 4 shadow clones without hand signs or smoke. Iruka poked it and was surprised. Wow, Naruto, you made physical clones, then don't seem of the elemental variety. Are they shadow clones? The student nodding at the Chunin's deductive capabilities. Iruka-sensei, would you believe me if I made other clones not commonly seen? Asked Naruto with a small smirk. Go on, Iruka replied. With that, each clone made a one-handed seal, and what came out shocked everyone. From the first clone, wood came out of its body and made an identical clone. The second clone made ice come out of its mouth and formed an ice clone. The third clone spat out lava, which created a lava clone which started to burn the ground. Lastly, from the fourth clone, something similar to a shadow clone came out with a puff, but it was an exploding clone. With that, everyone was shocked. Naruto are those? Asked a stunned Iruka. Yes, sensei, I have a wood, ice, lava and an explosion clone, but the exploding one is from explosion release. He explained simply. When he turned around to see everyone's faces, both he and Kurama were laughing at their faces. Kiba, Choji and Shika were stunned. Shino's glasses slide down his nose a little. Hinata and Ino were too stunned. Sai wanted to tell Danzo, but he knew that he would be watching it. Sasuke was jealous of Naruto's power, and Sakura was planning of asking her mother to make Naruto teach Sasuke those techniques. How though? Oh, it is a clan secret. Naruto put his index finger on his lips and went to pick his headband, which was black in color, and went back to his seat. No one said a word. But then the clones dispelled. The wood one sank to the wooden floor. The ice one broke down. The lava and explosion one jumped out of the window, and they could hear a boom and a sizzling sound from the clones. The bell rang to indicate the finish of the day, and so Naruto left all whilst everyone was still in their seats. Iruka remembered something and said, tomorrow at 9 a.m. be here for team placements, and with that everyone started to leave. When Naruto left, he could hear most parents whispering, how can they pass the demon? Why is he a ninja? But then all of a sudden he started to hear, he has 4 nature Kekkei Genkei. He made what? And the demon is getting stronger. But he ignored it and decided to train on not losing control over his 4-tailed form, then asking Gigi to ask where he can find the key for the seal and show him around the base. With the Hokage, Jonin instructors and the Hokage were watching the graduation exams, and no one said a word after what Naruto showed them. 4 nature releases that can be said to be Kekkei Genkeis. Hiruzen coughed, gaining all the attention. Well, Naruto-kun is full of surprises. I didn't even know he could do that, and how did he know Shadow Clone's jutsus? There were murmurs around the office. Multiple Jonins wanted to teach him, as there could consider him a prodigy and wanting to teach him. Kakashi wanted to teach his sensei's son, but now more competition arose, and with the civilian council wanting him to teach the Uchiha, he didn't want to teach the last loyal Uchiha. But no one replied with the answer. Iruka came in and was still surprised. Hello Hokage same. I believe that everyone saw what Naruto done during the final exam. With that everyone nodded. I have everyone rankings and the rookie of the year was Naruto as you all saw why. But I didn't know Naruto has 4 Kekkei Genkai. Hiruzen replied, he shouldn't have any of those, meaning he had actually had them, or the way to create them. The last part was spoken a whisper, but everyone heard it. With that everyone was silent, as it was a high chance if a Jonin taught him, the boy would most likely teach them how to do it. With that even more candidates put their name forth to teach him. The Jonins started to argue about which team he should be in. Kurenai Yuhi was one of them saying, I would want to teach Naruto, whilst I may not specialize in ninjutsu. I can teach him about tracking, genjutsu and assassinations. Asuma interrupted Kurenai, however, it seems that Naruto is more of a ninjutsu specialist, with me being a wind user. I can help him with his wind element as it seems it could be the strongest out of all of them. It wouldn't be reasonable for you to teach him as he is more of a heavy hitter. With that, the two of them started going back and forth. Everyone became quiet when an Anbu appeared wearing a curved dog mask. Tenzo was the dog wearing masked. If I may speak Hokage-sama. You may speak Tenzo. The Hokage replied, curious why one of his most talented Anbu wanted to speak about. As we saw Naruto Uzumaki has wood release, the way he uses it seems stronger than what I can do. However, I want to help him with wood release and control the Kyuubi. Everyone went quiet. Kakashi wasn't sure what he can do to be able to teach Naruto, but he will have a go in a minute. Those are some good points, but before I call him over, does anyone else want to add something? The old man asked. Kakashi raised his hand. Yes Hokage-sama. I would want to teach him as it also seems as he a ninjutsu specialist like myself. I observed that he didn't need hand signs for all but one for elemental clones. I also would be able to continue his father's wishes. Now everyone was interested as no one really knew who Naruto's parents were except for the Hokage and Kakashi. I will call Naruto and hopefully he will tell us some of his abilities as we barely know anything of him. This will also tell us more about him and this will give him the appropriate teacher. They continued discussing other students. After 5 minutes and with Naruto replacing himself with the clone at his house, he went to the Hokage's office. Hey Gigi, what's up? And why is everyone here? Some rose an eyebrow seeing the familiarity between the two. Hello Naruto-kun. I want to congratulate you for getting Rookie of the Year and I got a couple of questions for you. Said Sarutobi. Thanks Gigi, and I am guessing it has to be about my releases? Yes, how do you have those? It is easy if you think about it, but that is a clan secret. I am aware that neither of my parents had it and I wasn't given it by the fox, so yeah, clan secret. Naruto stated cheerily. With that nearly everyone shocked, firstly surprised that Naruto knows who his parents are and secondly the fox. A random Jonin asked, who are your parents? Before Sarutobi could reply, Naruto continued. I am the son of Kushina Uzumaki the second Jinchuriki of the Kyuubi and Minato Namikaze the fourth Hokage. Why didn't you know? Naruto asked cutely, making the female Jonin think, must resist hugging. Whilst some facepalmed, forgetting what Kakashi said a couple minutes prior. The leader, getting out of his shock, spoke, so you know? I was going to tell you when you became Chunin, as the dangers of you finding out and Kumo wanting to kidnap your mother, they could do the same for you. Don't worry about it Gigi, it was kind of obvious. Anyways, the fuzzball that I have become friends with, told me about my parents and helped me train. Hiruzen was getting too old for this stuff, Naruto-kun. I believe it is time for you get the inheritance from them, but can we do it after your Jonin sensei will be picked? Naruto just nodded as it was going along his plan. Thanks Gigi, but I know you asked me for something else too? Regaining his thoughts, the Hokage asked, yes Naruto-kun. It came to our attention that even though you became the Rookie of the Year, we know you know more. Can you tell us? Naruto and Kurama discussed this and thought of the best answer, and it was killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Gigi, what if I say I will show you, but I will show you at my base? This confused everyone. You have a base Naruto-kun? Asked the old man. Naruto just nodded. My apartment is to keep appearances, but I created a base where I train and create jutsu. The advisors were quiet all of the time but now were curious about this so-called base and what he could do. Especially Danzo, as it seems that Naruto will go under an apprenticeship, but if he could get Naruto under himself, it will be even better. So Danzo asked, before you show the base, can you give us a rundown of your abilities? Naruto, not seeing anything, nodded and responded, sure. My Fuinjutsu is one of my strongest, as I can make nearly anything from absorbing all chakra attacks to not allowing the Sharingan to copy hand signs and even teleportation. I have wood, ice, lava and explosion releases, and I am working on storm release. This part wasn't the full extent. I am able to subdue most other Jinchuriki with wood release, but I am lacking in jutsu for explosion release. I have mastered over 60 jutsu without hand signs and 80 with 1 or 2 hand signs that are not the 4 releases. I only know high-level genjutsu as my chakra reserves, it won't allow me to do low-rank ones. I have created my own Tai and Kenjutsu style from other styles. I have chakra chains and I am still experimenting on adding elements to the chakra chains, but it is still weaker than without elements. Oh, and nearly forgot. Gigi, where can I get the key so I can use more than 4 tails of the Kyuubi's chakra, as I nearly mastered my 4-tailed state. Everyone was shocked to say the least, even the ever so stoic Danzo, which had his mouth open. He needed to have this boy as an apprentice. He may not make him into an emotionless soldier, but one who could succeed him. Thank you, Naruto. Naruto just nodded and asked the Hokage, so Gigi, can I show you the base so I can show you everything that I am not lying? Hiruzen asked, how would we travel there? Teleportation, it is the only way someone can go in without dying. Naruto said to cheerfully. People started to sweat drop. Ah, okay. Can I only take you, Gigi, or do you want someone to go too? Naruto asked. Hiruzen, I want to go with you, stated Danzo. His curiosity got the better of him. It took him a minute, but Hiruzen nodded. If he took Danzo, then he would be backed up in council meetings as the Warhawk is a powerful player. Naruto-kun, can you teleport Danzo and I to your base? Naruto nodded. Okay, I need to hold your shoulders and we can go. When both nodded, he done it and others wanted to go to but they couldn't. When they were teleported, the first thing they saw was the living room. Okay, this is the living quarters, let's go to the training area. When they nodded, he walked out of the quarters and went to the training area. When Danzo and Hiruzen saw it, they were speechless. They saw over 600 shadow clones sparring, doing control exercises. Even there was a waterfall and a swimming pool. So this is where I train. I always have clones mastering jutsu, doing elemental and normal chakra control exercises, sparring with all jutsu types. Now both men understood that this is not a simple genin. I will show you the library of mine. But I will warn you, all of the scrolls that I have were found, but I will explain when we will be there. They nodded dumbly and followed Naruto. The first thing they saw when in library was that it was massive, bigger than the Konoha library. Danzo wanted Naruto to be his student more and more, with Hiruzen looking impressed, so all of the scrolls here were not stolen but collected or made over the last 9 years. I estimate I have over 30,000 scrolls. Hiruzen had to ask, where did you find the scrolls, Naruto-kun? In a deadpan, the clan's been a lot of their scrolls out when replacing them. So I took them, and if I had to I rewrote them if damaged. I have scrolls from all of the clans in Konoha, and from other villages. I have 4 floors to this place. The first one is where general knowledge like history, geography, science and medical. There are general jutsu that are not specifically from a clan and medical ninjutsu. The second floor is all clan based. I use it to counter the clan if we have to spar or just to mess with people's mind. The third floor is everything I have created and most of the Fuinjutsu I made too. The fourth floor is the most protected due to there being mainly S-rank jutsu. If you are thinking about people stealing it, firstly you need to find this place. Secondly, the seals I have to protect this place will tell me if anyone is here and will probably kill them. Thirdly, if someone comes here, they will have to face my clones and traps that I set up here. Danzo was in awe for the first time in ages. If he had this boy as an apprentice, he could make Konoha greater, without doing anything illegal. Hiruzen was too in awe. He knew Naruto told the truth about everything here. Hey Gigi, I got a favor. When the Hokage nodded, Naruto continued. Can you see if all of the money saved up from the Uzumaki Namikaze account wasn't stolen by the council, because I have a feeling they did that. The civilian council to be more precise, but both elderly men understood the hidden meaning. The Hokage thought about it and agreed. Danzo also agreed to have a higher chance with the boy. When Naruto teleported them back, the Jonin asked questions about it and the 2 old men said you had to see it to believe it. Naruto was about to leave as the Jonins were bickering of who should Naruto train under. Danzo asked Hiruzen if he could train the boy, but when Hiruzen was about to say no, Naruto agreed as he knew that Danzo was a war veteran and had resources that could help his growth. The elder had a small smile on his face that left the village leaders stunned for a while. When everyone left, he called an Anbu to bring a bank statement for the Uzumaki Namikaze account, and after 30 minutes they came back. The account should have around 19 billion yen, but only 200 million yen was left. But the funny thing was it was taken by the civilian council after the night of Kyuubi's attack, but nowhere during the operations did he see nearly 19 billion yen being given for the restoration. If the money wouldn't have been touched, the interest would have increased the total worth by 2 billion at least. After 3 hours of looking at accounts and seeing how the money was distributed, he was pissed. He then muttered, "I will give you everything back, Naruto-kun. You deserve it after you showed me your trust today." With that he called a council meeting. It was nearly 8 p.m. and all of the council members were in the council meeting chambers. They heard that it was the Hokage who called it. They thought it could be about the demon brat having a couple of elemental releases that he taught himself. But no one expected what will happen. The Hokage entered releasing ki, which made everyone stop what they are doing and sit down. They had a feeling that they will be doomed. Then he started talking. It came to my attention that after the Kyuubi's attack someone stole out of the Uzumaki Namikaze account. They took 17,800 million yen, but only 40% was used for the rebuilding. Now the civilian side began to sweat bullets as they were the ones who did that. The shinobi side looked in disbelief at what was stated. "Now I have the documents where exactly the money went." One of the civilians yelled, "But we deserve the money. The demon brat took a lot away from us." All of the shinobi clans had their eyes narrowed. As compared to the civilian loss of life, the ninja forces went down by nearly 40% that night. Sarutobi was pissed. "Anbu, get those who I mentioned before and tell them if they don't pay up with interest of 3%, they will even lose physical properties to pay it back." Another one was about to protest, but Hokage-sama, "We can't afford to give the money back." The Hokage just smiled, sweetly, too sweetly, "You sure? You took over 600 million yen and in your bank account, you have 800 million, so stop lying." Still releasing ki. A lot of planning and digging went into this plan, but it was a good opportunity to get rid of some annoyances. The Anbu took them, and even Haruno representative, which was Sakura's mother, was taken as she took over 1 billion, but she spent it, so it will be hard for the Haruno family to pay it back. Only one civilian remained, and he was a new one, and he had no involvement in it or knowledge about it. Everyone was surprised bar Danzo. When everything quieted down, Sume, the head of Inazuka clan, spoke up. "Hokage-sama, is it true that Naruto Uzumaki has a Kekkei Genkei?" Hiruzen smirked. "Yes, he does." The last civilian council member spoke up. "If I may, Hokage-sama, what is his Kekkei Genkei?" He didn't know if to be relieved or scared at how simple it was to get rid of some others. "He has Uzumaki chakra chains. But the thing is he has high elemental affinities, being able to manipulate to have sub-elements." That is what he had guessed at the end of Naruto's explanations at his base. Hiyashi Hyuga then spoke up. "We should put Uzumaki-san into the CRA, as it is clear to us that he is the son of Kushina Uzumaki, which in turn is the son of Minato Namikaze." By now everyone had guessed whose Naruto's parents were, even if some knew. "If I get Hanabi to do it, we would be way more powerful. Especially if he can teach their kids the elemental techniques and with the Juken. Additionally, with higher chakra reserves it will be harder for anyone to defeat our clan. I don't think he will want to, but I will ask him. But anyways, I know Naruto-kun won't have any loveless marriages." Now small chatter can be heard. Most actually agreeing to the fact that in a marriage there should be love, even if it wasn't done like that most of the time, as the fire daimyo was an example. Hiruzen coughed, gaining everyone's attention. "We will also change this council system." Everyone gulped nervously. "I have decided that there will be only one person for the civilian council, which will be Urashi Beelzebub. He is the only one remaining. There will be 2 advisors, Kaharu and Homura. The shinobi side will be as it is. One of the reasons being the old civilian council were making our economy the lowest out of the great 5 elemental nations, blackmailing shinobi to do the councilors' bidding, such as academy teachers and jonin senseis. Most clan heads were taken aback, and so were the advisors. How could they be so blind to the truth? Additionally, Danzo. This made the man perk up. I know you still run route. Which made the man sweating bullets. But which made Danzo perk up once again. We will be in use of them. Some missions will be sent to route, but I want to make sure you know route will be the hidden part of Anbo. Danzo being excited, hi, I will give you some necessary documents tomorrow morning. But how can we get more route? We can give an option to the kids to train under route, but make sure they won't completely be emotionless so they can still be in the community. A small loss, but a big gain. With that, Danzo nodded mostly to himself. He did get lost in life at one point, believing that emotions was a hindrance, but as age grew in, he slowly began changing his thoughts and feelings towards that matter. Anyways, continuing for another topic, the teams for the new Genin, here is and continued. When it came to Team 7 and above, Team 7 will consist of Sasuke Uchiha, Sakura Haruno and Sai, and their Jonin sensei will be Kakashi Hatake. This team will be a heavy assault team but also a backup team. Everyone nodded to that, agreeing if Sasuke awakens his Sharingan then Kakashi would be the best bet to train him. Hiruzen spoke up again, and also, if any of you or your family doesn't want anything to be stolen by the Sharingan, go to Naruto-kun. He will give you a seal that won't allow the Sharingan to copy any jutsu. As remember, there is also Itachi Uchiha and Shin who has stolen a couple of Sharingan eyes. Those two were quite famous, although Shin was given an A- rank warning compared to Itachi's S class. Now everyone was pleasantly surprised. Inoichi Yamanaka asked, how did Naruto-san have that seal? Naruto created this seal. It was actually tested by Kakashi Hatake not long ago. If you must know, Naruto-kun is a level 14 seal master by the Uzumaki standards. Before everyone left the Jonin meeting, Kakashi asked Naruto to see if the anti-Uchiha seals worked, and indeed it worked. Choza Akamichi asked, Uzumaki standards? It was Kaharu who answered, from what I remember, the normal levels go up to level 10. But for the Uzumaki clan it can go up to level 50. This began unlocking memories some had forgotten about the Uzumaki's clan. Sume then questioned, what is the difference from level 10 to level 50? Minato-sama was a level 10 and it took him 3 years to recreate Tobirama-sensei's flying Raijin. A level 50 could recreate a seal like that in a minute or two, but there was only one person who was recorded to reach level 50 in the Uzumaki clan. Lady Mito was recorded at level 24 and Lady Kushina at level 15. This made everyone realize the significance but were curious of what a level 50 seal would look like. Coughing to gain the attention, Hiruzen continued with the teams. Continuing on, Team 8 lead by Kurenai Yuhi will have Hinata Hyuga, Kiba Inuzuka and Shino Aburame. This team will be at tracking and reconnaissance. With that, the council nodded. Team 9 is still in circulation. Team 10 lead by Asuma Sarutobi consists of Shikamaru Nara, Ino Yamanaka and Choji Akamichi. The new Ino Shikacho, as you know, is a capture and information gathering team. They too agreed to it. Sume then asked, what happens to Naruto? I guess with his abilities no ordinary Jonin can teach him? That is a small problem. After the stunt he showed today at the academy, a lot of Jonins want to be his sensei and I know some want to only gain the information and how he did that. Hiruzen sighed to that, but he continued, he needs more experience and someone who could help in areas he is lacking. Danzo spoke up, if I can? The third nodded to that. I would recommend for Anko Mitarashi to be his Jonin sensei. This surprised everyone. Shikaku was curious to find the elder's reasoning. Why though? Simple, Naruto is an all-rounded shinobi. He can be a heavy hitter or an assassin. I even know that he's capable of medical ninjutsu. Anko can continue his training and he can go with her to gain the valuable experience that he needs and not only against his clones. Additionally, I can always teach Naruto some of my techniques. Danzo said with an actually good smirk. He didn't mention it, but the two could make a bond allowing both potentials to grow higher. I guess it is decided. Team 11 is Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze with special Jonin Anko Mitarashi? Hiruzen said. If there are no other questions the meeting is dismissed. With that the council meeting is done. I hope I have done it right, Minato-kun, Kushina-chan. Naruto was in the class waiting for the teacher to come in. He is wearing the same thing as the picture of the story but doesn't have his jacket but had a dark gray shirt with an Uzumaki swirl on his right sleeve. 2 katanas were strapped on his back which belonged to his mother and Tobirama, but they were in plain black sheaths so no one can recognize them. The handles were no different to any other fancy katana so it was harder to recognize. Choji was chatting with the blonde about ramen when Iruka came in with a couple of sheets of paper. Before the teacher could have said anything, a curious Sakura asked, "Sensei, where is Mizuki-sensei?" She was still pissed about not knowing where her mother was from last night, and she got no answers from her dad who too didn't know anything. Iruka said, "Sorry guys, he was assigned on a mission so he won't be here." He didn't want to say that Mizuka became a traitor as the Hokage caught him stealing the Forbidden Scroll. "Anyways, I want to congratulate you all for passing the Genin exam, but know the journey will be a long and hard one. I also want to say who was the Rookie of the Year." Sasuke started to smirk due to his superiority complex. "Well done Naruto Uzumaki for being the Rookie of the Year." Sakura then screeched, her day wasn't going well. "How is it possible, sensei? Sasuke-kun was way better." Iruka being annoyed at her. "Sakura. Naruto got full marks on all exams whilst Sasuke was the third best this time. It was Shino Aburame who came in second. His written test was not only better but showed a better performance than Sasuke by a slight margin." Now this piqued everyone's attention so everyone began to discuss. Sasuke couldn't believe it but then Iruka used his big head jutsu and said, "Shut up." With everyone quieting down he continued, "Now the teams." Naruto blocked the sound until he was called, Team 7, Haruno Sakura, Sasuke Uchiha. Sakura shouted something about true love, and sigh. Continuing on, Team 8, Hinata Hyuga, Kiba Inuzuka, Shino Aburame. Team 9 is still in circulation. Team 10 is Ino Yamanaka, Shikamaru Nara and Choji Akamichi. Making Ino slump on her seat. Ino asked, "What about Naruto-kun sensei?" Naruto is on Team 11. He was personally asked to be an apprentice to one of the Jonins. Sasuke was seething with anger. He was an elite, he should be on an apprenticeship. Now everyone, your Jonin senseis will collect you." At that moment Kurenai and Asuma came in to collect their teams, with some other Jonins for teams 1 to 6. Kurenai with Team 8 and Asuma with Team 10. Naruto was reading his scroll about sealing jutsus and after 5 minutes, a figure smashed through a window and said, "Yo, you must be Naruto." Naruto nodded and replied with a smirk, "And you must be Anko Mitarashi, a snake summoner but also one of the best assassins in Konoha." And now with a quieter voice, "And my mother's student." Anko froze at that. She was only told that Naruto would be her apprentice, which she celebrated and forgot to listen in to further details. She then asked, "So you know Gaki?" Now saying it with a smirk. "Yeah, and thanks for looking after me whenever you could, Serpent. I know that the civilian council was a pain but you had your fun yesterday from what Gigi told me." Anko was actually happy that she could teach Naruto about everything she knew. She was an Anbu when she was younger and looked after Naruto in the shadows. But then she was scouted to go into Torture and Information Division in Konoha, with her leaving Anbu. "Okay, meet me on the roof then," and the two of them left with a poof. "I didn't know you can use Shunshin Naruto?" "Ha, you don't know the half of it sensei. But hopefully I can show you soon." The team guessed that Anko didn't know about his abilities or had a slight idea. "Okay, introductions are in order. My name is Anko Mitarashi and my likes are making people bleed and dango. My dislikes are traitors, a snake man and people who mess with my dango. My dreams is to prepare you for the world as best as I can." With that Naruto I smiled. "My name is Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, I like ramen and training. I hate the 3 minutes it takes to make ramen and people who don't understand the difference between a scroll and a kunai. My dream is to become strong to protect my precious people and gain more knowledge about shinobi-related topics." Anko nodded. "Okay, as you will be my apprentice, we will work differently than other teams, as they will have a true genin test but I won't do that but I would want to spar tomorrow to see where you stand in terms of nin, gen, tai, ken and fuinjutsu. Meet me 8 AM at training field 44. With that both were gone. Naruto was happy about being in a 2-man cell and continued to train for the rest of the day and sent out 2 shadow clones to see if they can get any scrolls. Time skip, next day. Naruto arrived at training ground 44 30 seconds before 8 AM. When Anko appeared she said, "Okay Gaki, we will see your capabilities." With that the spar started. Anko rushed at Naruto at low chunin speed with a kunai in her hand and started with a feint left jab. But Naruto predicted it and used his left leg to sweep her legs and then a punch to her kidney or tried to as Anko dodged it all. The snake mistress then clashed with Naruto her kunai against Naruto ice kunai that he produced. They leapt from each other and then Naruto threw the kunai at Anko saying, Shadow Shuriken Jutsu. Anko with hidden ease used, wind style, great breakthrough. Then the purple hair woman used, hidden shadow snakes at Naruto, making Naruto go underground. When Anko looked for him, she sensed him underground so she jumped away missing Naruto's punch to her chin. Whilst being up in the air Naruto smirked and said in his mind, lava style. Lava golem. Then a 20-meter golem rose up from the ground being made up of lava and faced Anko. Anko then looked in awe and with a little fear at the creation, but she was curious at its capabilities. She hit it with a crazy smirk, then calling on, water style. Water wave, from a nearby water source sprouted a water wave but when it hit the golem it did nothing. The golem started to throw lava globs at her. This made Anko weary of the golem and started to think how to defeat it all whilst going from tree to tree at low jonin speeds. She couldn't think longer when she saw Naruto pick up some dirt and she saw he pushed chakra in it, with him saying, explosion style. Explosive earth bombs. He threw the earth globs at the same time the golem threw some lava globs. Anko replaced herself with a piece of wood and saw the destructive combo. When the explosion occurred, the lava exploded seeming like rain, but she soon realized that the so-called rain burns through nearly anything. She then mentally said, okay Anko, calm down. It is a Gaki with powerful jutsus at hand. Maybe Genjutsu will work on him. False surroundings. Time disorientation. When it hit Naruto, she realized that it was instantaneously released. With Naruto thanking Kurama, Naruto turned to where she hid and making his golem go after her. With Naruto being fancy this day he placed 3 seals on the ground releasing 3 golems made of iron, wood and ice. He made them go to Anko who was sweating bullets at seeing 4 elemental golems going to her. She then used summoning jutsu and summoned one of her biggest snakes of the size of 30 meters. The snake asked, Anko-sama, why have you summoned me? Anko replied, hey there Alice, I need some help with those 4 elemental golems. When the snake saw them, she gulped. Using her tail to smash the ice one, it was smashed but Naruto continued to smirk with the reason revealing itself when the ice golem began reforming. This made the snake and Anko go wide-eyed. Then the ice golem threw ice shards at the snake-human duo, with the wood one making wood extend from his hands to hold the snake. When the combination finished the snake puffed out. Jumping off, Anko rushed at Naruto at low jonin speeds which Naruto released his weight and resistance seals to move at his currently highest, mid jonin speeds which she matched with ease. When the two fought in hand-to-hand combat, Anko was pleasantly surprised as she was getting some Naruto's attacks going through her guard. Increasing her intensity, Naruto jumped back and revealed his 2 swords, which Anko just grabbed her kunai. Both rushing in, Naruto infused his chakra into the swords to make a dual elemental slash going towards Anko at a faster speed than Naruto was himself. Dodging but seeing the destruction with the corner of her eye was a big mistake on her end when she felt something on her arm, on her blind spot that she accidentally created. It looked like a seal but it was produced by a chakra chain's end. Naruto spoke before Anko could move, give up or the seal will explode. It drains your chakra anyways, so there is not much point in escaping. Anko gave a sigh and agreed to him. That was a good match Gaki. How did you learn the golems? The lava one I know the jutsu for but the other 3 are seal made making it easy for me for instantaneous defense. With that the wood, ice and iron golems grew smaller into small toys like figurines and Naruto collected them. Then the lava clone collapsed leaving no signs of it being there except the scorched ground. But here you go. Even though the iron one didn't do much, it is the most resistant and it is mostly a taijutsu fuin, meaning it specializes in taijutsu. It is best against summons or to scare people. So he gave the iron mini golem to Anko, with him going to make another one to increase him collection. It was also a gift for protecting and helping him throughout his childhood. Anko had a small tint of pink. It was one of the few gifts she received in her life with no ulterior motive than to thank her and it made her happy. Thank you, Gaki. Coughing awkwardly she spoke, your taijutsu was pretty good, but it is clear to see you lack experience to be classified as a Tokubetsu Jonin. I didn't see any genjutsu on your end, but the one I used on you was released instantaneously, so I still need to see more. I am a level 3 seal master, and I can confidently say I understand nothing on your seals, meaning you are a high level. Naruto's sweat dropped at the Fuinjutsu comment. Ninjutsu-wise, you can overwhelm a lot of opponents, but mind you, usually ninja fights end with taijutsu, with kenjutsu being a possibility too if you are not careful. Taking a deep breath, she continued, I would rank you somewhere between a B and a rank ninja, with ninjutsu being your strongest and taijutsu being your weakest. Naruto nodded at the assessment of his skills. Kurama and himself believe that is his skill level too, and training only does so much at the end. So sensei, what is our plan? Our team was created as a backup but also an infiltration, delivery and assassination team. Meaning that we most likely be outside of the village. At the beginning it will be simple missions, but then I presume it will have two components intertwined for the sake of efficiency. The blonde guessed what that meant. In the pretext of delivering a message, which might be true, they might need to infiltrate that place to find information, etc. I will also teach you how to gain information from enemy shinobi, increase your combat repertoire in the nooks and crannies of the job. We will continue building up base strength, but I do have some recommendations for you, if you are ready for a challenge. I am all ears, sensei. He was curious what Anko would want to recommend him, as he loved challenges. I heard you are a seal master, and from the old man told me you only have a storage seal on your body. Naruto nodded. That is something a level 6 seal master could create. I want you to look into ways of storing your chakra into a seal, and when you are running low, as you use ninjutsu a lot, it will replenish it. Same, but with your chakra being converted into medical chakra, whilst it is already out there, having your own is better than copying someone else's. Finally, the challenging part is making your chakra denser. This makes your chakra attacks have more potency, meaning it will be stronger, so create a seal converting natural chakra or chakra from the air, to put into your own chakra network. A smirk came upon her face. To make your chakra denser otherwise would take years, and I bet you want to be stronger slightly faster. Naruto had stars in his eyes. Yes, Anko-sensei. With that, Naruto created a shadow clone and said, tell the Fuinjutsu division to start thinking of those seals mentioned. Also tell them to create seals that convert natural chakra to power other seals. The clone mock saluted and flashed away to the base. He wished to think of this earlier, with Kurama too being in this predicament. With a questioning look, Anko asked, Gaki? What happened? Ah, I have a lot of clones training and a group is doing Fuinjutsu. My clone is just informing them. Don't you get backlash from information overload? Anko asked, worried as shadow clones is a restricted jutsu for a reason. Not really, I created a seal that would make the clone's memories go to a leader clone, or a division leader, which will inform me by popping when I am free. Usually I create clones in the morning and night. He didn't inform Inko about his small information network that he recently began creating, with the room being hidden in his bedroom. Good thinking, but what will you do when we are on missions? They will train still, but I would have to meditate for a while when I will have free time, to absorb and collect all the knowledge gained. Naruto explained calmly. The reason he could do this was because Kurama was helping with the backlash. Anko ruffled Naruto's head and said, create a clone and I will create my own shadow clone. Naruto this time had a questioning look. I want you to see what D-rank missions are, so after today we can do C ranks and higher. Now you owe me Dango. After creating the wood clone. What, damn. With that they both left to get Dango. With the third, Hiruzen and Danzo both watched the fight between Anko and Naruto and they were happily surprised. Danzo spoke up, his use of golems is truly a formidable technique. I wonder how you can defeat them. Hiruzen with his professor mind analyzed then spoke. I guess by making them sink, but I think Naruto-kun has a counter to that. But there must be either a seal or a connection between the construct and Naruto-kun. We need him to go on higher ranking missions for him to gain experience. It is clear to see, especially in taijutsu and kenjutsu. Whilst he can beat some Tokubetsu Jonin, most Jonin would win against him if there was no ninjutsu used. That is true, but we need him to do the minimum required D-rank mission, but I guess it will be easily done by today, then a C rank. They saw the two creating clones who rushed towards the mission distribution room. Danzo nodded, seeing the point of this. The C rank should be against bandits at the least. Whilst they are small fry, it will teach him basics of strategizing on the field. Higher ranking missions could be delegated after that. If Naruto sees how boring the D and C ranks are, then he will most likely be doing higher ranking, which is better for the village and him. What about the money used by the council? Out of the 17.8 billion yen, we have collected 14.5 billion yen from the council. We are going to get some of their physical assets to compensate for the 3.3 billion yen. I won't lie, even I wouldn't go that far of taking the money and not spending it on the village. I am wondering what he will do with the money. Who knows? Let's see how Kakashi's students are doing. With a grunt they watched. To say they were less than pleased with the Uchiha and Haruno. Sai was acceptable, but his remarks made the teamwork non-existent. They only passed due to Sai giving some food to Sakura. Couple hours later, team reports. Hiruzen in a commanding voice said, "Team leaders report if the teams passed and the reason." A random Jonin took a step forward and said, "Team 1 failed horribly. They didn't use teamwork and put each other in danger from their own attacks." With that, the Jonin senseis for 2 to 6 went and said their failure with similar reasons. Kakashi stepped forward and said, "Team 7 passed by barely. The only reason was Sai sharing his food. The Uchiha is a demanding with an inferiority and superiority complex, and Haruno having a fangirl to the Uchiha doesn't help." There were a lot of murmuring among the group. When Kurenai's turn came, she said, "Team 8 passed. They used teamwork to find me and capture me." Hinata is shy and doesn't want to hurt anyone. Kiba believes he is a top dog, but he did show skill. Whilst Shino isn't too communicative but helped Kiba when he was stuck in a genjutsu, they can at least work together decently. Asuma's turn came and he stated, "Team 10 passed. They worked together to capture me." Shikamaru is too lazy but a good planner. Choji is too kind-hearted but can pack a mean punch. Ino though is too loud but gets them motivated. Sadly, she is a fangirl for Naruto. Luckily though, it seems the good kind of fangirl. Then a Sai came. The good kind of fangirl meant that they will impress the one they were crushing on with their ninja skills, but he found her too troublesome. Anko with a smirk said, "Naruto passed. He beat me with a lava golem and Fuinjutsu created golems. He has a good head on his shoulders, and with his vast arsenal he is truly unpredictable. Additionally, he already completed 25 D rank mission. Tomorrow is our first C rank." Only the Jonins had their mouths agape, hearing what occurred. Flashback to the clone do. Naruto and Anko clones came to the mission office room. They saw 2 Chunins, one of them being Iruka. Behind the Chunins were 4 vertical shelves with D, C, B, and a rank on top of them. Naruto saw that the D ranks were nearly overflowing, so he asked Anko, "Anko-sensei, can I create more wood clones to finish more D ranks?" Anko replied, "Sure, but you have to write the mission reports for them all." Naruto smirked and asked Iruka, "Iruka-sensei, can I get 25 D rank missions?" This made the Chunin's eye widen. They needed the D ranks to be completed as the requests was higher than usual. That was also the minimum to start a C rank mission. "Okay Naruto, can they be random or do you have a choice?" Iruka asked. "No babysitting, preferably manual labor or D rank missions where I can learn how to fix or do stuff." Naruto said. "Perfect." Picking up 25 scrolls, Iruka said, 16 of them are stuff like weed picking, painting, shopping and similar stuff. 7 are helping in the library, dog walking, Torah catching. The last 2 are helping a baker and a gardener. Should be fun, he said with a smirk, knowing that his student would be able to not only complete them but learn something new, which is why he chose those missions to give to Naruto. Smirking back, Naruto and Anko went out and Naruto created 74 wood clones and in groups of 3 they left. Clone of Anko followed one team, which would be the fastest to not only help explain but to make sure nothing wrong would happen. When that team started, one of the wood clones created another clone and dispelled it, informing the other teams what to do, with the rest of the teams getting it and doing the mission. After some time, the first team completed a D rank and Anko showed what to write and how. After 3 hours Naruto done 25 D ranks and submitted either the approval slip, or in one case, Torah herself. Apparently, the money can be stored up for taking it out in one go, or when you finished you collect the pay. Naruto and Anko decided to do it tomorrow, when they will collect the C rank mission. Naruto gave Anko 25% of the money he would be getting, even if Anko didn't want it at first. The stubbornness of Naruto won at the end, saying she can buy more dango with that money. At the end the total came out to be 37,500 yen, as some of the D ranks pay from 1,000 minus 3,000 yen. Flashback end. This surprised all of the Jonins, and Kurenai asked, "How did Naruto-kun do that many?" Anko smirked and said, "That Ni-chan is a secret. That caused a lot of face faults," but Danzo and Hiruzen both smirked as they both discovered how to do their paperwork. Shadow clones. The next day we find ourselves in the mission room. Currently all of the teams except Team 7 are here due to one Jonin's lateness. The only teams that passed the actual Genin exam were Teams 7, 8, 10 and 11. All of the Genins were chatting with each other about their Jonin tests, with Ino hugging Naruto to the core. Naruto trying to pry Ino off and talking to Shino. Shikamaru was about to fall asleep of Choji whilst he was eating some crisps. Hinata was blushing whilst secretly looking towards Naruto whilst Kiba was playing with Akamaru. The Jonins were chatting when suddenly Hiruzen called out, "I see nearly all of the Genin's teams are here." This made the Jonins chuckle at Kakashi's lateness, letting you all know that when Academy graduates Genin, you are put on a mission chart to show others how much missions you have done. Ino then asked, "Hokage-sama, why do we need a chart, and what do you mean when Academy students become Genin?" "We reset this chart when a new batch of Genins comes to service. It is basically giving a small sense of competition, but also for the clients to see how reliable our teams of Genins are." The Sandame coolly said. Shikamaru replied, "That is a good idea, can we see it?" Hiruzen smirked when he pointed at the side of the wall with a chart with a lot of Genin's teams, but what surprised all but the Jonins and Team 11 was that Naruto had done 25 D ranks already. Kiba then had to ask, "Hokage-sama, is this a mistake? Surely Naruto didn't already do 25 missions?" Anko had to butt in, "The Gaki sure works hard. Old man, can we get a C-rank mission? I want to show the Gaki to a different location than this village," ending with a smirk. There were some complaints from the Genin, but the Hokage said, "Sure, let me deal with teams 8 and 10. Kurenai, you have a choice between cleaning the Inuzuka kennels, getting weeds from a lawn, or babysitting a counselor's grandson." Then Kiba was in an uproar. Hinata and Shino were agitated but hid it better. Letting out a sigh she said, "We choose the cleaning the kennels." Kiba grumbled at that. Now Ino, Shikamaru and Choji were now waiting for their doom. Hiruzen continued, "There you are. Now Asuma, you can paint a fence, getting weeds from a lawn, or babysitting." Ino then yelled, "I thought we are ninjas, not some cheap workers?" Asuma sighed tiredly, "Ino, this is meant for team building, so when you do higher ranked missions it will be easier for you to coordinate. We chose the fence painting." Hiruzen grumbled about no one wanting to babysit, but nevertheless he gave it to him. "Okay Anko, Naruto-kun. We have 3 missions ranked CA: message delivery to Suna, bandit cleaning and a bodyguard mission to the land of noodles." Then there were more complaints from Kiba and Ino about the unfairness, one about not seeing her crush, the other wanting to gain experience. Anko said, "Okay Gaki, which one do you want?" Naruto then asked the Hokage, "Whereabouts is the bandit camp?" The old man then replied, "It is on the south of Tanzaku-gai." After a couple of seconds of consideration Naruto asked the cage, "Can we take the Suna delivery, but also the bandit cleaning, as it is close to the way to Suna?" Hiruzen then looked at Anko, who nodded and gave the 2 missions to the Anko. Luckily Iruka wasn't there this day, as he would say it would be too early for Naruto. Anko then gave an order, "Okay Gaki, pack for 2 weeks as we will stay in Suna for a couple of days." With a nod Naruto used a teleportation seal to get him to his base, which shocked all of the Genins present. Anko then waved goodbye and shunshined away. If they have waited for 2 hours more, they would see a pissed of Sakura ranting that most of her civilian clan assets being taken as they needed to repay a massive debt. Making Sasuke, Sai, Kakashi and everyone in the room wanting to kill themselves just not to hear her complaining and the high-pitched voice. When the mission completion poster was shown and Sasuke asking about where Naruto is, Hiruzen told them that he is on a duo C-rank mission. Sakura was demanding that their team was able to do a B rank due to Sasuke. They got a D rank babysitting instead. When Sasuke asked about Naruto's last name, Sakura was stating that it was fake. But when they discovered that he is the son of Minato and Kushina, they quieted down. Inwardly, for one of them, they were fuming in anger, but another was sad that he couldn't teach his sensei's son. With N. Sorry for making Sakura and Sasuke bitchy. I loved their characters and it was the younger me who wrote this and I kept this. Either I will kill them off, they will calm down, or change for the better. I am still deciding to this day. At the gate 20 minutes later, Naruto was leaning on the wall whilst waiting for Anko. Then he saw Anko with a small backpack whilst eating dango. Okay Gaki, you got everything? Naruto nodded. I realized that we will probably go on missions that will take more than a day, so I have a specialized storage seal for a month. It includes clothes, camping supplies, hot ramen, other foods, medical kit, 200 kunai and shuriken, 50 senbon, 100 explosive tags, some other seals and a seal-making kit. This impressed Anko. Geez kid, you don't need that much, but it's better to be over-prepared than under-prepared. Okay, it will take us 1 day to get to the bandit camp and another 2 days to Suna. There we will stay for a week, then we will get back in 3 days. Mid-Chunin speed, got it? With a nod they jumped to Tanzaku Gai, where they will get a hotel and deal with the bandits. Bandit camp. It took them 6 hours of travel to arrive in the town. Naruto was tasked to look for the camp whilst Anko booked the hotel. After they relaxed, Naruto showed the bandit camp. Due to Naruto having a massive library, he knows a lot of missing nin and their rank, as he also has the bingo book with him. Naruto identified only one missing nin, which was Shikalanta, a chunin from the village hidden in the waterfall. Luckily, he was ranked a C-rank threat. With him there were 14 bandits drinking and having fun. Whilst sensing he was looking for anyone who was held hostage, but found there were none. Anko whispered, "What is your plan and observation Gaki? From what I can sense there are only 15 people here. 14 of them have civilian-level chakra, meaning there are bandits. Whilst there is an individual ranking C rank in the bingo book, his chakra reserves are low Jonin though. He is a missing nin from Waterfall and specializes in water jutsus and plant genjutsus. I will create clones to deal with the bandits whilst I will get the head of Shikalanta to get the bounty." Anko approved of that small strategy. "I will be on the lookout, and if something happens then I will step in." With that Naruto nodded. Suddenly Naruto's face became emotionless, surprising Anko. Creating 20 shadow clones, he tasked them to surround the camp. After the signal, the clones all threw wind-enhanced kunai into the bandits and, if possible, the missing nin. The hiding technique worked on the bandits but didn't of Shika. Seeing all of his underlings dead and then seeing a blonde boy sprint suddenly to him, he called out, "Water style. 100 needles." Naruto then created Earth style, mud wall, blocking the projectiles. He then used Earth style, hiding like a mole, and popped out underneath Shika. Being too late to dodge but being able to block, he put his arms up to block the punch. The punch was enhanced with chakra, making some of Shika's bone crack. Cursing, he got a kunai and went in to fight Naruto. This was happening as he prepared genjutsu vine capture, which Naruto, or rather, Kurama, instantly dispelled. Naruto pulled out one of his 2 blades. This made Anko gasp as she saw what blades he has, as she didn't see them properly beforehand. She knew he had his mother's katana, but not the Nidame's blade. Naruto parried the kunai's slash and punched him in his stomach to make him lean over. Using this opportunity, he used the Raijin no Ken to decapitate the missing nin head quickly and painlessly, as he enhanced his body with more chakra. He will share the 40,000 Ryo reward with Anko when they get back. After cleaning the blade, Naruto placed it back and checked with Anko for any valuables, then burnt the bodies and fixed up the campsite. Gaki, how you feeling? With some concern given to Naruto. With a weak smile Naruto replied, "Could be better, it wasn't my first kill but I still don't like it." In a bold move, Anko hugged Naruto, causing Naruto to have a light blush. "That is good. Never enjoy killing." Then with a sadistic smile, "But torturing for information is good." Causing Naruto to splutter, then have a laugh. Anko knew that saying something random in a depressing situation was one of the best medicines. When they arrived in their hotel, they ordered some food. Sadly for Naruto, there was no ramen, but Anko had her red bean soup and dango. Anko then asked, "Where did you get the Raijin no Ken? Would you believe me if I said it was leaning on a tree whilst I was out of the village?" "I wouldn't. But she looked for any deceit in his eyes, causing her eyes to widen. "Oh my gosh, you did." With a sheepish rub of his head he said, "I found this in the haramekure that way." Causing Anko to open her mouth wide open. "You know Gaki, Mist is really angry at losing one of their blades, right?" With a smirk. It was common knowledge at this point that one of the 7 mist blades was missing. Now giving a smirk of his own, Naruto replied, "Want to go blade hunting with me then? I heard one snake has a really cool blade." Anko just thought, if this Gaki can go all out and we sure can defeat Orochimaru Teme. But it is still too early for that. "You bet, I get the head and you the sword." Deal. This made them both happy. Talking about swords, I want to find Raiga and Zabuza and collect their blades as they are missing nins. Kisame would probably be last. Imagine the talk of the mist losing nearly half of their swords. A maniacal grin spread over Anko. "I like you Gaki, we have a deal." Wind Country, Suna. It took them another 2 nights to arrive near Suna, with them being in front of the village just before 11 a.m. Nothing happened except a lot of talking and Anko teaching a handy trick with chakra to cool the body down, even if the blonde was already using something similar with his pseudo-ice release. Naruto promised when they get back home, he would show her his base and try to remove the seal, as he began studying it but would need to check some more theory to do it correctly. This action caused Anko to nearly kiss him. Naruto discovered it because of Anko occasionally rubbing her shoulder. The snake mistress really enjoyed her time with Naruto. He didn't care about her seal problem as he too has a seal but was on really good terms with Kurama. The Jinchuriki had to say Suna looked boring as hell. No greenery, only yellowish orange nearly everywhere. The gate guards asked them their business and when Naruto gave his identification ninja card, it nearly made them faint, seeing the last name of the young blonde. One of the ninjas took the 2 towards the case cage tower as they were informed of the mission. When the duo were about to enter, a kunoichi that looked 2 years older than Naruto walked out with a saddened face. She was 2 inches shorter than Naruto and had sandy blonde hair tied in 4 ponytails. When she looked at the other blonde, a small tint of pink on her cheeks. So when Naruto eyes smiled as a greeting, it caused the other blonde to blush a little more. Anko noticed it and something panged in her heart. She didn't know this feeling but she didn't like it. So when the 2 walked into the tower, they were quickly invited to the case cage office. When Rasa saw the face of the younger of the 2, his heart nearly stopped as Naruto lowered his face mask to be polite. Anko gave the leader of Suna the scroll which he thanked them for and asked them to wait a couple of days so he could get the reply they needed from their council. With that the 2 left the office to find a hotel and get some food. 5 minutes later, the same kunoichi came back and asked her father, "Father, who is the blonde kid?" Rasa replied, "Tamari, he is called Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, why?" With a small blush she replied, "Nothing father." Then she left the building to go to her family's estate. At night in the hotel, Naruto and Anko were laying on separate beds in a shared room they booked. Anko thinking about what happened when the kunoichi they met before entering the tower, she didn't like the look she was giving to her Gaki. She didn't even realize she said, hers. "Hey, Anko-sensei?" Naruto asked, receiving a hum of acknowledgement. "You know what I do to increase my library at home?" "A faint idea, but don't you have tens of thousands of things though?" "I do, but I have the least on Suna and Iwa." "Do you think I can send clones to do it?" "What about the scrolls though? And how?" She was curious about learning more about Naruto and how he operated. With a smirk Naruto replied, "I have a seal that teleports non-living items to me from my base and vice versa. Usually my clones or myself go find them in either bins or similar places, usually using a transformation. If you find anything on poisons, give me a copy." So during the night, the 2 looked in awe that the clones found a lot of scrolls from the bins of the clans, library and other important places. This time Naruto got 18 ninjutsu, 1 E rank, 4 D rank, 7 C rank, 5 B rank and 1 A rank, 11 genjutsu, 3 D ranks, 3 C ranks and 5 B ranks, 14 taijutsu, 7 D rank techniques, 4 C rank techniques, 1 B rank techniques and 2 A rank techniques, 4 fuinjutsu, 3 C rank, 1 A rank. He also found scrolls dealing with the fan weapons and puppetry which he was giddy about. He quickly copied a damaged scroll about poisons with him giving it to Anko whilst sending the damaged scroll back to his base, with him doing it towards others after that. He made a shadow clone that popped to spread the information to learn about chakra strings, as not only was that a good exercise for chakra control but also shape manipulation. He knew that his father had made the Rasengan, which involved shape manipulation, with him thinking that it will be easier to learn that when he finished with chakra strings. Additionally, chakra strings could help with his Shuri Kenjutsu and to grab opponents' weapons mid-battle. Next day, Naruto and Anko got permission to use one of Suna's training grounds. Currently the duo was in Suna's training ground 6, it was a pretty basic one consisting mostly of sand, some desert vegetation and a small pond that was on the verge of drying up. They asked for one more in the Suna's terrain due to Anko wanting Naruto to be used to different terrains. Anko spoke up after their warm-up exercises, "Okay Gaki, from your rundown of skills and from what I saw you mainly need to gain more experience on the field." Naruto gave a nod to that. "You done well when you made your clones have different level of skills and what they can offer. Especially now when you will learn puppetry and usage of a fan." With another nod given by our blondie, Anko continued, "As we are currently outside the village, I won't be teaching you anything new for security reasons, but we will spar with only taijutsu. From what you told me, you are also trying to learn magnet release, right?" "Yeah, although it isn't as developed like ice, wood, lava or explosion, or even storm release." The blonde quickly explained, nodding her head. "Create clones for you to not only learn magnet release, make the clones also use earth release to try to manipulate sand. Furthermore, use your chakra to stack sand on your hand, feet, etc. This is a chakra exercise that will help you further, but also move faster on sand." Sounds interesting and useful. Going outside the village sure did increase my knowledge. Whilst his chakra control was pretty good, surpassing average Jonin's, considering his chakra reserves, he always needed to fine-tune it and improve as he wanted to waste as little chakra in battles as possible. With that, Naruto created 150 clones, with 50 clones dealing with each of the 3 points his teacher stated. Seeing that the clones were walking towards different areas, the older one spoke, "This is going to be purely taijutsu only Gaki, no fuinjutsu or weapons. Also, what is your gravity and resistance seals on now?" She remembered that Naruto had those restrictions on as well. After a couple of seconds of grumbling, Naruto spoke up saying, "My gravity is on level 9 and resistance is on level 12. Both were out of 25, which was impressive as he learnt the fuinjutsu only 2 years prior. A nod came from Anko. "I want you to increase both by 1. It will give you a bigger challenge than tomorrow we will spar without your seals." A nod came from Naruto. When Naruto done that, Anko got into her snake fist style whilst Naruto went into his style with some trouble. They waited for a sign to start. A tumbleweed rolled in front of them causing a sweat drop to occur. When it was out of the sight, the two of them sprinted towards each other. Naruto with increased gravity and resistance was low Chunin, which caused Anko to smirk as was using mid-Jonin speed. Naruto pushed some chakra throughout his body and slid, which caused Anko to jump above, but Anko dropped kicked the place Naruto's head was causing some sand to rise up. Naruto spun his heel on the ground and caused some sand to sprinkle around him and pushed with his chakra-enhanced leg toward Purplenet. The blonde gave a quick left jab to Anko's liver, which the snake mistress pushed away, whilst retaliating with her hand towards her student's pressure point in his neck. Naruto rolled to the left and once again pounced on her with multiple jabs towards her joints and organs. Anko tried to block all but one went past her guard and hit her right shoulder joint, causing her right arm to go limp. Anko cursed but realized further that Naruto's techniques were similar to the Hyuga style and his father's style. With that, she made her way towards the whiskered teen whilst pushing her chakra towards that joint for her arm to start working again. Naruto knew that he didn't win, so he pushed more chakra throughout his body, reaching the low Jonin speeds and slid sideways whilst applying chakra to his feet to jump above Anko's jab and kick. Using his leg, he used Anko's foot to jump higher into a somersault. His leg was going downwards, which his teacher jumped back, but the creator he created was larger than Anko's previous one. Now he is using his mother's style. Anko quickly thought as the two went into a fist fight. Naruto saw that Anko's right side was slower than her left, but he couldn't find any holes that he could use for his advantage. Jumping back, Naruto thought of a plan. He will be using a style that he copied from the Uchihas, so he patiently waited for Anko to come to him. After 20 seconds, the special Jonin did just that, with Naruto parrying all attacks, noticeably being faster unconsciously as Kurama was healing all of the Jinchuriki's torn muscles. Noticing it quickly, Anko changed her strategy with her using a guerrilla tactic. Naruto took a breath and concentrated on his surroundings, the sounds, the smell, the chakra presence Anko tried to hide. Blocking a jab that would hit a major artery, he retaliated successfully towards his teacher's arm. However, after some time Naruto was sweating as Anko's went at her maximum speed, which was high Jonin, making bruises appear on the blonde's skin, although his regeneration quickly healed them. After some time, Naruto tripped on a poking dead root that made him fall backwards, with Anko falling onto him as he tried to grab anything to stabilize himself. Oomph! Naruto wheezed out as his face was in between Anko's s, that only had a mesh shirt as protection, all whilst Anko's face was in the sand. She used this opportunity to point her hand at Naruto's neck, whilst sitting up on his chest and spitting the sand out of her mouth. I win. He just huffed playfully as he spoke, yeah, you won. Can you get of me? Whilst having some blush on his face, not wanting Anko know what this was doing to him. However, his conviction was strong enough to make something growing at all, which he was very proud himself. Anko laughed at that as she got up, whilst helping the blonde get up. A quick break? She asked, with Naruto nodding. He created a wooden dome that protected the two from the sun, all whilst they ate some lunch and relaxed. She then thought, Naruto has a good understanding of taijutsu, heck he could win against Special Jonin, but I wonder how fast Naruto is without his seals. I know he was suppressing his hormones, I wonder how big it is. Anko then smacked herself, wondering if Naruto will go after an older woman, and if he even saw her as someone who isn't a sister to him. She had heard rumors that the council wants Naruto to be put in the CRA, but in all honesty she didn't want to share him with anyone else, who would. She sighed sadly, already knowing that there are multiple kunoichis and females going after him. It increased tenfold after the reveal of his heritage, but also him having a welcoming and loving aura around him. She hoped that Naruto would want only one. Anko Mitarashi, a special Jonin that specializes in torture and interrogation. Her skill set was on par any A-rank ninja, all from her experience in Anbu and as a special Jonin. Not many people could win against her in Konoha, but one of her biggest weaknesses was prolonged battles as her stamina was being sapped by the seal her traitorous teacher gave her. She looked at Naruto at the corner of her eye as he was drinking cactus juice and had a light smile on her face. She did like teaching and exploring with Naruto and hoped for more of this. During the fight neither of them cared about the three people watching them. It was clear as they were in a different village than theirs, so people would look over them. One of them was sent by the case cage to see how strong the Namikaze was and to say the Anbu wasn't disappointed but was curious what they meant about making magnet release. Then there was your friendly neighborhood Jinchuriki that was thinking if to kill them or not as his so-called mother was silent towards the blonde. Finally the blonde kunoichi, which we know as Tamari, she looked in shock that a 2-year younger guy had so much skill and that was in taijutsu only. She could only wonder about his other abilities. However, to the displeasure of her, when she saw what happened at the end of the fight, something in her mind said that she did not like it, but that was a thought that she dismissed. Later that day, after the lunch break, the two continued sparring, but Anko challenged Naruto to only use E and D rank ninjutsu. To say she was shocked at the variety of ninjutsu he knew was an understatement. He used them as they were a B or a rank ninjutsu, but Anko knew they were E or D ranks. The clones had little progress but were able to use the magnet release to make a shuriken travel left and right by only 5 centimeters. The sand manipulation went better with him raising the sand above the ground. With the chakra exercise Naruto made a 3 centimeters thick and 8 centimeters tall sand tower. As Anko said, the thinner but taller the better. They went to the hotel and got cleaned up. Anko went to bed whilst Naruto decided to walk around the village to explore it for himself. Whilst he was walking in the commercial area, he was surprised how different Suna was from Konoha, and he wasn't talking about the colors or scenery. He was getting different looks, more of curiosity and a look that he couldn't identify clearly, but he sometimes saw it from Ino. Due to being an outsider he didn't know the best spots and not having a map was a little infuriating. He had some knowledge of the layout of the village due to the shadow clones, but it was dark then. He then spotted the same girl with 4 ponytails walking near him, so he decided to walk towards her and asked, "Excuse me, but I am not from around here. Can you tell me where the best places to visit are?" With a sheepish face and a rub to the back of his head. Tamari blinked at this situation. Basically no boy came to her as they were either scared of her father or her brother, but she agreed and hopefully to get to know him better. "Sure, if you want, I can show you around, ehh." She faked not knowing him. "Oh yeah, I am Naruto and thanks, it will be appreciated." "I am Tamari, nice to meet you Naruto-san." With a small bow, Naruto waved his hands in an awkward moment. "Please call me Naruto, I am not for formalities." "So call me Tamari then," with a disarming smile stated the daughter of the case cage. "So where do you recommend? Are you hungry by any chance Naruto?" It was his stomach that betrayed him, causing a small, embarrassed blush to appear. Tamari continued with a small smirk. "There is a classical Suna restaurant that is worth to try and eat at." After finding the place mentioned, the duo began talking about each other but also having some fun. The food for Naruto wasn't as godly as ramen, but it was still amazing to say the least. After the blonde paid for the bills, even with the female blonde nagging that she could pay the bill, they visited one of the only parks in Suna with a small fountain in the center with some palm trees surrounding it with a clear view of the stars above the hidden village. Soon, Tamari showed Naruto some classic places such as their Chunin Arena, a market area that only some shops were open due to the late hour. Currently the duo were sitting on the bench, with the Konoha ninja saying, "Thanks for the tour Tamari, it was fun. However, I will be getting back towards the hotel." A smile of joy was seen on his face as he had his face mask lowered all of the time. Having a smile of her own, she spoke, "It was fun for me too." She quickly got herself out of staring at the teen's face as she stood up. A quick hug was shared as they went their separate ways with a promise of meeting each other again. End of the Suna visit. The 3 days went similarly to the day Naruto talked to Tamari. Naruto would send 150 clones to work on magnet release, chakra control and the earth affinity with control over sand. He would also send 50 clones to improve his water affinity. The sparring between Naruto and Anko was also good for the blonde, as most of the time Anko still won against him due to her experience, but now he could last longer in taijutsu-only spars. Naruto's speed without the seals was mid-jonin, but he wasn't complaining on that front. He met Tamari each day with them also sparring, as Anko mentioned that fighting or sparring against different opponents will build up battle IQ. At night he would send out shadow clones that were transformed into native animals of Suna, with him collecting some scrolls that had nothing new or had similar things Naruto already collected. The Anbu always reported about the known activity of the 2 Konoha shinobi, with Rasa being pleased, especially when his daughter told him about her days with Naruto. This not only could help him with negotiations to improve his village, but a plan to help his daughter have a happier life with someone she chose and not the other way round. He would have to do some negotiating during the Chunin exams. "Now it is time to go." Naruto and Anko said goodbye to the case cage. But to Anko's irritation, when Naruto said goodbye to Tamari, she kissed him on the cheek, which caused a small blush to appear even to be seen with his face mask. Now it was the time to travel back to Konoha. 3 days later in the Hokage Tower. "And nothing happened on the way back here Hokage-sama." Anko finished the verbal report. "Well done both of you, Naruto-kun, you can go to the bounty office. You can have 2 days rest and then you can come back here to receive your next mission." With a bow and a bye Gigi, they both left. When Naruto and Anko left to collect Shika Lanta 40,000 yen reward, Anko was surprised when Naruto gave her half of it. He just stated that he has enough money already. With that the two left, as the sun was setting down, with the Naruto promising his teacher to show her his base the next day. When Naruto went to his base, he went into a meditative pose and started to dispel the clones that were training. After an hour of sorting all of the accumulated memories and experiences with Kurama's help, he fell asleep happy knowing what his clones learned. Even with the small amount of experience he gained with Anko in the recent week showed with his clones, as their moves became slightly sharper. In other departments, the storm release and magnet release were blooming smoothly, especially with the new water and earth nature training that he did in Suna, with the clones making a sandy area where they continued improving their chakra control and the basic control of sand. One chakra string was produced with the clones that were working on that were controlling its width, length and control with basic structures such as kunai. Finally, the group that were working on Fuinjutsu found a way or two to help deal with Anko's seal. Next day, Naruto was walking aimlessly. He showed Anko his base, and to say she was shocked was an understatement. She didn't expect it to be so big, and they decided to train there on some occasions. Now Naruto was trying to relax, all whilst thinking of how he could train. He started to make the clones look more into poisons, but in general made them continue what they were doing originally. He was on top of the Hokage's heads thinking, when he sensed a chakra signature that he knew. "Ah, Elder Danzo, I didn't expect you to see you too soon." Danzo nodded. "You don't need to call me that. Just call me Danzo or Danzo-sensei." Naruto nodded to that. "I am wondering when you want to start training?" "As we will train whenever you are on a break, of course not straight after a mission." He wasn't a monster, he knew how much rest was worth. "I don't mind. Would tomorrow be alright, and if so, where?" "Go to training ground 2, I will see you there." "How did you find the mission?" "I won't lie, it is nice getting out of the village and doing some jobs. At the current moment, I want to explore the elemental nations, but higher ranked missions would be good too. Me and Anko-sensei have talked about it and decided to be more of an elimination and protection team, or even do something similar to Kiri Hunter Nen." Danzo nodded, expecting the reply. "Good, I will see you tomorrow at 7 a.m. With that he left. Naruto also sensed someone else but couldn't recognize it properly due to that person being further than his natural chakra sensing worked. So he placed his index and middle finger to the ground and sent a chakra pulse. He used this method to sense further properly. He frowned in annoyance of finding the one. It was Hinata Hyuga. He knows that she stalks him whenever she could, and that annoys him. He likes his privacy, especially when he was in his base or in the bathroom. From what the shadow clone could sense in his apartment was that Hinata would stay an hour or two on a rooftop and use the Byakugan, even if it didn't allow it to see inside Naruto's home anymore. He wondered if she used the time when she stalks him to train, she would be stronger, but now she was as annoying as she could. So with the next best thing than having a restraining order for Hinata, he body flickered away. He was walking to Ichiraku's when he saw a box was following him. He smirked, remembering who it was, so using one-handed seal and placing his hand on the ground, he made the footpath have an ice slide, making the kids inside the box squeal in surprise but enjoyed too. Getting out of the box was Konohamaru, Udon, Moegi, and surprisingly Hanabi, having an annoyed look plastered on her face, although her excitement of the technique wasn't hidden as well as she hoped. "Boss, why did you do that to us?" Konohamaru whined playfully. All four of them were 12 years old and are in the first year of the Ninja Academy. "Geez, monkey boy, you didn't tell us he could use ice," whined Hanabi. Naruto chuckled at the antics of the kids as he saw them mess around. "Hey guys, what you are doing?" "Boss, can you train us? Please?" Third's grandson asked with puppy dog no jutsu. Hanabi and the other two kids nodded too. Sure, why not, let's go to training ground 13. With that he body flickered himself and the kids away together. When they were there, the four kids were a little disorientated, but then they had stars in their eyes. "Can you teach us that jutsu?" asked Moegi. "Not yet, Moegi, due to you all needing more chakra but controlled to use this jutsu." This made them listen in closely. "I will teach you a method of how you can control chakra and build it up, so not only could you use this jutsu but any type more efficiently. From the academy you already know leaf balancing, so I will teach you tree walking." "Boss, we know how to climb trees though," questioned Konohamaru. "But with chakra, look." Then Naruto walked up the tree. The kids had stars in their eyes. "You need to put chakra on the soles of your feet and walk up. If all of you can stay on the tree for at least 30 minutes I will teach you the Shunshin." They all nodded eagerly. Then Naruto threw 4 kunai. "If you can't get it straight away, don't worry about it. It took me 3 days to master it and I have way more chakra than most jonin at that time." He didn't mention he did it when he was 7. They all hurriedly started to do that. To no surprise Hanabi finished first, and started to flaunt it. "Hanabi-chan, continue running up and down. It will increase your chakra capacity, allowing you to do more chakra-intensive moves from your clan." Hanabi blushed a little when Naruto called her Hanabi-chan, but then grumbled about the unfairness of the world. He knew about the Hyuga fighting style as he was inspired by some parts of it and knew that a member of that clan needs their chakra control to be higher than most for effective use of their jukin. Hyuga compound later on. "Hanabi, Hinata and Hiyashi were all eating dinner when Hiyashi spoke up. Hanabi, where were you today making you this tired? I was training by Naruto-sensei and some of my classmates. This surprised Hiyashi and Hinata too. She was started to get jealous but it didn't show on her face. Hiyashi then asked, what did you train? His plans were started to spin when Hanabi started to get older, get an arranged marriage with her and Naruto. We started tree walking exercise. I can do it for 15 minutes for now. She puffed her chest in pride. This greatly amazed Hiyashi as he wasn't expected to learn it yet. Hinata spoke, or better said, stuttered, for the first time, but my team sti Ilhaven NT learned it yet. Hanabi then stated, wow, your team and teacher must suck. Hiyashi spoke up, well done Hanabi, from what I can sense from you, you have 3/4 of chakra that Hinata has. If you continue, I am sure you will have more than her soon. Hanabi smiled proudly at that. However, Hinata was emotionless now. What did Naruto say about future training? He said whenever he isn't training or on missions he will train me, Konohamaru, Udon and Moegi. If we learn how to stay on the tree for 30 minutes, he will teach us the body flicker. Hanabi said proudly. This made the other two participants widen their eyes. Hinata was started to get jealous that her sister will spend time with her Naruto-kun, even though Naruto doesn't like Hinata. Hiyashi had a light smile. He was sure that in no time Naruto can make Hanabi a great kunoichi and form a good relationship. Next day, training ground 2. Naruto was meditating when Danzo arrived with 2 of his rude Anbu behind him. Good morning, Danzo-sensei. Danzo nodded to that. Naruto, I want you to meet Torun and Fu. Naruto gave a nod to them both, which they reciprocated, with N. This is Torun Aburame, adoptive brother of Shino and Fu Yamanaka. You may know them when Danzo went to the Cage Summit. We will start with some sparring as what you need the most is experience. Then I will leave you to Fu and Torun to teach you how to wield a tanto and some other weapons. Additionally, we will make you poison resistant, making it harder for enemies to use poisons on you. Danzo said with a rare smirk. Naruto smirked with excitement, bring it on. Fu, Torun. With that the spar started. When Danzo said, start, chaos occurred. Fu and Torun used their experience working together. Fu jumped back whilst Torun called out, extreme hidden jutsu. Poison cloud jutsu. Using the poison from his insects to form a mist and sent it to Naruto, whilst Fu used this opportunity and shoot out multiple kunai with explosive notes on the end. Whilst they have done that, Naruto thought of a plan that could disable an Aburame and a Yamanaka. First thing first, he jumped away from the kunai and quickly dodged a slash from Fu. The Jinchuriki used 2 one-handed seals and called in his mind, fire style, fire flame wave, and then made 1 shadow clone. He quickly without hand seals produced another jutsu called wind style, great breakthrough, whilst the one other clone made a risky move for using the storm release, storm style, electric storm downpour. The enhanced fire and with the storm style causing more chaos on the training ground. Fu quickly created a water wall with Torun body flickering onto a tree branch with him secretly spreading his insects around. Sensing minuscule chakra signatures, Naruto cloaked himself with lightning that only killed the incoming bugs. Fu had to dodge the electric storm with 1 shot grazing his outer thigh but healed it quickly. Torun rushed towards Naruto, with him engaging in hand-to-hand combat, trying to use his poisonous insects on the blonde, but the lightning covering his body, that did not enhance his physical stats, protected Naruto from the bugs. Torun disengaged with Fu jumping above his fellow root operative with his tanto to slash Naruto in 2. Twitching his finger, Danzo saw one of the blonde's blades on his back teleported to his hand and blocked the strike, with the other blade being taken out and parried Torun's blade. The elder recognized the 2 blades. His teacher's blade that he believed was taken by a traitor was being wielded by his part-time student. A smile was on his face seeing the other blade too. Fu jumped back and prepared for his clan's mind-body switch technique, that when shot was barely dodged by a panting Naruto. Being distracted for half a second, Naruto's lightning cloak wavered, allowing one of Torun's Rinkaichu to bite Naruto. Cursing in his mind, Naruto infused chakra into his swords and made a water slash that was enhanced with lightning, hitting the surprised root Anbu, with the blonde taking an opportunity to disable the left arm. Unfortunately, he couldn't do more as Fu joined in the fight once again, with earth spikes being shot at Naruto. Jumping sideways, Naruto shot out a normal great fireball towards Fu, allowing Naruto to use his camouflage jutsu to go behind Torun and knock him unconscious. Coughing some blood from the strong poison, he used a bit of Kurama's chakra to begin healing himself, whilst parrying a jab from Fu. Whilst the two were fighting with the tanto and katanas, both opponents gathered chakra in their mouth and in the same time shot out their jutsus. Naruto's was water style, explosive water shot, whilst Fu's was poison mist, with Naruto's jutsu overpowering the other, making Fu hit a tree. Not taking a chance, the blonde rushed towards the darker blonde and disabled his opponent with a seal. However, at the last second Naruto dodged, extreme hidden jutsu, jar of poison technique. One of the deadliest jutsu in Torun's repertoire, but the teen responded with 4 chakra chains being shot at the believed to be unconscious ninja, that were all blocked by his tanto, although the weapon broke at the end. Using 2 hand seals, Naruto whispered, "Explosion release. Art of 100 bombs." This jutsu made a radius of 50 meters to go up in the air, with the aburame going up too. Using this chance, he stuck another seal onto the root anbu, making him not be able to move at all. Clapping came from the side. As Danzo walked there to Naruto, he said, "Well done Naruto, I am truly amazed. I would rank Fu and Torun to be ranked at low S rank if they worked together. But why didn't you kill them?" Naruto had a small frown. "Danzo-sensei, why would I kill capable shinobi like them? Torun, from what I saw, has a rare species of insects called rinkaichu which are really poisonous and can eat through most materials. Fu, from my observation, is more of a kenjutsu, long-range fighter. As a Yamanaka he is most useful in interrogations, information gathering, but also chaos creation. And remember this Danzo-sensei, I only need one touch and I can place a seal that can make you explode by increasing the amount of water in the body, or a seal that can be used as a permanent genjutsu until the seal is taken off properly." Danzo smirked to what Naruto said. "Well done, Naruto, your skill with seals is truly an amazing gift. Continuing on, I see you concentrate of ninjutsu, kenjutsu and fuin taijutsu. From the report Anko-san gave me, you are proficient in the normal taijutsu and have the speed of mid-jonin without your seals. I know you use the 2 katanas, but I want you to be proficient with more weapons in case you lose one or you have a tanto or another sword available at that time." Naruto gave a nod to it. So they continued training and Danzo gave Naruto some poisons for him to try to adjust to. They are the basics and they will build up. Danzo was impressed by Naruto's skill and persistence, especially after being bitten by one of Torun's bugs. Night in the base. Naruto's clones had finally been able to figure out one of the seals Anko asked as a challenge, with this being the chakra replenishing seal. It worked better than a previous design he saw, with him placing it onto his back with the help of a clone. When Naruto's chakra would be low, the seals will automatically add chakra into his system to replenish it by 25%, and the best part was they can be refilled overnight, or when chakra used for at least an hour. That was an improvement from the old ones. He could feel the slight chakra drain, and with that he went to one of his bedrooms to get some sleep. Morning, mission room. The poster didn't change much, with other teams having done 4 to 12 D rank missions with only Team Guy doing 1 C rank mission. Naruto and Anko was on the lead with 25 D rank and 2 C rank. When the two met up, Naruto showed Anko the seals and told her that the seal Orochimaru created had a mechanism that would cause permanent harm if it was taken off improperly, with him going to look into it more whenever he has free time. The two went to the mission room to be met with Team 7 receiving another D rank mission of babysitting a child. Oh poor souls. When Sasuke saw the pair, he scowled, but he didn't leave the room. Sakura, Sai and Kakashi were about to tell Sasuke to get moving, but they too stopped to hear the conversation between the third Hokage, Rookie of the Year, and the Snake Mistress. "Hokage-sama, I request a B-rank mission for myself and Naruto," Anko stated. Kakashi was about to say how or what. Sasuke wanted to interfere too, but Sarutobi beat him to it. "We have another delivery mission, but this time to Iron Country. It has to do about a trading proposal. It is a B-rank mission due to the high number of bandits with a possibility of missing nins too." "Thanks Gigi, I think me and Anko-sensei will take it," replied Naruto happily, as he once again would go to a different country. Why aren't we allowed higher missions? Demanded Sasuke. Simple, Naruto and Anko had shown exceptional skills working together, and together they make a high-class squad with low S-class if going all out. This made Team 7 drop their jaws. Hokage-sama, would it be possible for my team to join Team 11 on their mission? Asked Kakashi. He wanted to spend time with his teacher's son, but he too cared for Naruto when he was in Anbu. But it was a good chance for his team to possibly learn what a ninja really is. You still have the D rank to finish, but possibly in the future Team 7 and 11 could work together for some missions. Team 7 grumbled, and before Sakura could complain, Anko told Naruto to pack for a couple of weeks and to bring warm clothes, with the two going to meet each other at the gates in 30 minutes. They both body flickered away, leaving two irritated members of Team 7. Gates. Naruto was now waiting near the gates for Anko to arrive. When she did, she explained the mission. Okay Gaki, this will take us 4 days to arrive there. There will be a high chance of meeting bandits and some missing nins. We have the clearance to eradicate any bandit camps along the way. Getting a nod from Naruto, she continued. Iron Country is known for its cold climate, so I hope you have some warm clothes, as you won't be able to cuddle me all of the time. She teased. Naruto began to splutter with his face heating up. TCH, Anko-sensei, he cried out in embarrassment. Iron Country capital. It took them 4 days to travel there as expected. They only had to eradicate 5 bandit camps, with only C-rank missing nins as their highest threat. They went past the Three Wolf Mountain, and where they were picked up by some scouting samurai. When they entered the city, they met up with Mifune, the leader of Iron Country. The teacher was dealing with the talking of the delivery of the message. After some time he looked at Naruto in curiosity. He could tell from the blonde that is pretty experienced with kenjutsu, but he guessed that it wasn't his preferred style. After Anko said everything she needed and said they would meet up tomorrow for the reply, Mifune suddenly stopped them. I wouldn't recommend leaving tomorrow, or for that matter, a week. There will be one of the heaviest snowstorms we would see in this decade, and it should last at least 5 days. I welcome you to stay at the Golden Blade Hotel for the next couple of nights. Thank you Mifune-sama, Anko replied, agreeing, as it was better safe than sorry. With some hesitance Naruto asked, would it be possible for us to use a training field for training Mifune-sama? With a gentle smile the leader nodded. We have multiple underground training grounds that we use often when the weather isn't favorable. You can use Training Ground 12, that is located under the hotel. With a polite bow Naruto thanked him. When the duo were leaving the office, Mifune nearly gasped but controlled it, when he saw the hilts of the 2 swords the ninja carried. As an expert he recognized the Red Death's famous sword and the Raijin no Ken. Now he would need to test this young swordsman. He had heard rumors that there is a Namikaze who was hiding until they were a genin, and he guessed he found him as the description spoke about 2 swords on his back, a face mask, blonde hair and blue eyes. Naruto and Anko went to the hotel and plopped onto their beds. Naruto placed a silencing barrier and then made 5 clones who transformed into animals common to the country of Iron to look for scrolls, especially for kenjutsu. After that was done Anko asked, why did you ask for training grounds? What do you want to learn Gaki? She didn't complain about training but was curious. Naruto replied with, Iron Country is famous for its kenjutsu prowess without the use of any ninja art. I was hoping to spar with some samurai. Anko replied with a smirk, how wonderful, I won't lie, but soon you would surpass me Naruto. That was true. If her student used Kyuubi's chakra and more advanced ninjutsu, he could defeat her, but her goal was to increase his base strength. This shocked Naruto as she barely says his name. Gently smiling he replied, thanks Anko-sensei, but you should too train. He started to panic if he had said something wrong, like, don't get me wrong, but both of us need more strength if we want to deal with the Snake Man. Anko walked up to Naruto and just hugged him. The blonde would have hugged back if his face wasn't pushed into some S and his arms weren't restricted by his sensei. She smirked and said, okay, get some sleep, my cute Naruto-kun. Next day, after getting ready, they came to eat some breakfast and finally went to the training field designated to them. Naruto's clone could only get 3 scrolls on kenjutsu but other scrolls on other subjects such as geography and history of Iron Country. In the training grounds Anko spoke up. She still had her smile from the morning, which Naruto reciprocated. Okay Gaki, I want you to continue your elemental chakra control and normal chakra control. I want your clones to work on that. Whilst I can create only 4 shadow clones, I will get 3 of them to work on my own chakra so I won't be outdone by you." She smirked, remembering what she was told by her student not long ago. "I know that you have the Haramekure sealed with you, so I want you to practice with that. After an hour of your own training we will have a spar. You will only use Haramekure whilst I will use everything in my arsenal for you to be prepared for anything and everything." "Yes, sensei." With that he created 300 clones, 250 continued on elemental chakra whilst 50 on his normal chakra. This allowed the clones at his base to concentrate on other ninja arts. Then, twitching his right pinky finger, the Haramekure appeared in his right hand. From what Naruto discovered it could do was that it can store up chakra and release it by making chakra weapons or chakra waves. It also can create fishbone-like crystals that shoot out and split into 2. So then he split it into 2, removing the bandages in the meantime. Image below. Naruto personally wanted to work with Haramekure as he seems to find it fun to work with them. He won't say he is the best at them. Using 2 katanas that wear on his back was his go-to option, but still, he would say he knows the basics. When he found the weapon, he soon also found has a scroll in the library talking about its basic abilities, with him learning more with experimentations. Although as he discovered, the 2 katanas and Haramekure could not be copied. So either he or a clone would use them to train, and it was slow work, but they found a workaround with creating wooden replicas that had the same weight and size. After a warm-up, he began going into stances with the sword at high genin speed, with a clone throwing a kunai at random occasions, for Naruto to block naturally with the blades. Halfway to the 1-hour mark, he gave that clone his 2 katanas, with the 2 beginning a sword fight. Sword slashed, bullets, spikes and manifested chakra weapons were all used by the clone and original, with Anko needed to stop her own training to see her student training. Smirking, she went in and began fighting, making this fight become a 1vs1vs1. After 2 hours, the clone finally dispelled with a joint attack of a chakra hammer and a kunai to its face, with Anko and Naruto facing off. Both sweaty, bruised and cut, they looked into each other's eyes seeing who would move. A massive snowball was seen rolling in between them, with Naruto asking, "Will there always be something rolling before we spar?" A tumbleweed, and now a snowball. She couldn't help but laugh, with the 2 stopping the spar as lunch was nearing. Anko was happy with her student, even if she didn't really teach him much other than planning and getting to know the shinobi system better. Now not only her student was becoming better but herself too. On the way towards a restaurant she was thinking about what kind of missions she should do with Naruto. Like yes, delivery missions was okay as Naruto wanted to see the elemental nations. Possibly she could ask the Hokage if they could go to Uzushiogakure ruins and see if they can find anything. But also, she wanted to go on some assassination missions, wondering if they could start bounty hunting or become a hunter unit for Konoha. As they were eating dango with some dumplings, she recalled the spar with her, seeing that Naruto wasn't the best with his leaf swords, as she liked to call them, but wasn't a slouch either. Practice makes perfect, as they say, but she would increase the speed with actual experience. They came back towards the training ground after lunch and some exploration, with the 2 beginning to have another spar with Naruto's Haramekure. It was becoming darker when they heard some clapping. Turning around they say Mifune in his battle gear and his trusty sword on his side. With a polite bow they spoke, "Good afternoon, Mifune-sama." "Afternoon you too, and please there is no need to call my sama." He received 2 nods. "I am impressed with your skills, Naruto. If I may ask, how did you get those swords?" Naruto, with a little hesitation, but he only saw curiosity from the old man's face, he answered, "This sword is from my mother, Kushina Uzumaki. The name of the sword is Sujin no Ken. The Raijin no Ken and Haramekure were found when I was walking in the forests of Fire Country." Mifune looked at Naruto if he was lying, especially about the last 2. But when he saw the seriousness in his eyes, he chuckled. "I see, so you have 2 of the 5 god swords." This confused both Anko and Naruto. "Oh, I see, you weren't told. There is a legend that there are 5 swords that were blessed by the gods. You have the Raijin no Ken, blessed by the god of thunder Raijin, Sujin no Ken, blessed by the god of water Sujin. There are 3 more Fujin no Ken, blessed by the god of wind Fujin, Dojin no Ken, blessed by the god of earth Dojin, and Kaijin no Ken, blessed by the god of fire Kaijin. Those 5 are rumored to have total control over the element, with each one enhancing each other. They only show their true potential for the wielder they chose. I see, that is also why I feel so comfortable using the Sujin and Raijin no Ken. I sometimes go all out with my clones whilst wielding my swords and the damage is enormous. Both teacher and student knew that going all out in a place that isn't their village or a life or death battle was dangerous, especially leakage of information. Still, with this knowledge, Anko knew that Naruto never went all out as he didn't need to. Mifune just nodded. Do you two want to hear about other swords and their myths? With them nodding and Naruto using his wood style to create a table and some chairs surprising Mifune. How do you have Mokuton? Naruto smirked. I don't know really. I have all 5 elements and been able to combine them and made some sub-elements. Mifune just hummed, continuing on. You must have heard of the Kusanagi. This made Anko tense, which Naruto put his hand on Anko's shoulder, which made her calm down. I see, it is said that it was blessed by Susanoo by defeating Yamata no Orochi. Additionally, if one can collect any one of them and the sword chooses you, then you receive the power of the god. Susanoo can give you an ultimate defense. There are other swords blessed by other gods, but that is all we know. Anko thought, wouldn't it be pretty good coincidence that Yamata no Orochi is similar to Orochimaru and getting the sword is similar to the myths? Naruto asked, do you know a general location of the swords? Mifune smirked. We have the Dojin no Ken. If you get accepted by the sword, I will give you a couple of scrolls about the swords and some sword styles. But, Naruto parroted. I want you to fight me. If I see you worthy first, then you can see if you can use Dojin no Ken. This pleasantly surprised both Konoha and Nen. I accept Mifune. I am presuming it will only be Kenjutsu. That is correct, Naruto. Only Kenjutsu with the only usage of chakra for the powers of the sword. And before you ask, you can use any of your swords. Naruto stood up and bowed. It will be an honor, Mifune. Good. I will get some samurai to collect you tomorrow at 11 a.m. Our fight will be in the Three Wolves Arena. With goodbye being said, Naruto and Anko began to spar again, with Naruto using Kenjutsu whilst Anko used everything in her repertoire. With Mifune, do you really think that was a good idea, Gramps? A teenager of the age of 13 asked. Don't worry, Inari-chan. I know Naruto is good, but still he needs more experience. Mifune said calmly. Inari is one of the best samurai in her generation. She has the height of 5 feet 3 inches, black hair with green eyes and a light skin color. But, Gramps, we both know we won't go for any killing or debilitating blows if you need to know, Inari-chan. What about the sword though? As you know, no one here can use it to its full potential and swords are meant to be used. She begrudgingly agreed and waited for the next day. Next day, stadium. Anko was fussing over Naruto the night before about the fight and he told her not to worry, even though most likely he would lose, but it is to get even more experience. Now Naruto in his normal shinobi clothes was standing in the center with Mifune in his battle gear near him. The stadium was packed as they wanted to see their leader fight against this young shinobi. Many teenagers had a blush seeing him, but also respect being clearly seen in their eyes. The proctor then said out loud, "Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today Mifune will fight against Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze in a pure Kenjutsu fight. Some rules are no killing or debilitating blows, no use of chakra except with Kenjutsu techniques, enhancing the body or opening, closing scrolls. Other than that, are the contestants ready?" Receiving nods, he continued, "Then start." Taking out his 2 katanas out, whilst Mifune took out his own katana. Many samurai looked at Naruto's sword in wonder and fascination, but then Blonde smirked as he pushed chakra into his Sujin no Ken, making a glow of blue come out of it. Suddenly water came out of the sword heading to Mifune, and Naruto put chakra to Raijin no Ken, making it glow yellow and placing it in the water flow to Mifune. Mifune was in awe at the power but continued nevertheless. He put wind chakra into his sword, cutting the electric water in 2 and used a samurai technique allowing the sword to extend by at least 20 feet. Naruto, feeling something coming near but not seeing it, made him weary, so he jumped back and luckily, he missed the slash of the leader. Continuing to smile, Naruto ran towards Mifune and entered a Kenjutsu fight. He used water chakra in Sujin and lightning chakra in Raijin. Mifune added his chakra to his blade, making sure it won't be broken, and deflected most strikes. But to his surprise, the Sujin no Ken was sprinkling water out of it whilst Raijin no Ken was shooting sparks, which in turn caused Mifune to be shocked, literally. After 2 minutes Mifune was able to get the Raijin no Ken away from Naruto, so the ninja fought with one sword, his mother's. He lasted 6 minutes with that sword before Mifune got that sword away from his possession. Naruto jumped back and with his pinky twitch a new sword appeared. Mifune knew the abilities of this sword and he even fought against most of Kiri's legendary blades and their users, but was curious how Naruto will do. The Jinchuriki didn't separate the two and used the chakra already in the sword to cause a chakra weapon to be formed. The hammer went straight to Mifune, who blocked it with his sword, but after a second Naruto took the sword into 2 pieces and with one continued with his chakra hammer whilst the other, he shot out fishbone-looking crystals at Mifune. He dodged and blocked all but one, which nicked his cheek allowing some blood to let out. The crowd gasped at this, then suddenly Mifune disappeared and appeared in front of Naruto using an overhead swing at Naruto, which he got his Haramekure to block it, but what happened next surprised Mifune. Naruto pushed more chakra into Haramekure and it created a spear which Mifune blocked but got pushed away. In this time Naruto collected the other 2 swords and tried something risky. Putting Sujin no Ken in his mouth, Haramekure in his left hand and Raijin no Ken in his right, he jumped to Mifune. They continued fighting, but due to Naruto's 3-sword style and the powers of the swords, Mifune was having a hard time but was enjoying himself. He continued to enhance his sword and his fighting style was so beautiful that you could get mesmerized in it. Yes, the fight would have ended in Mifune's favor if it was a death match, but this is an uprising genin and a spar. After another 8 minutes Mifune got Naruto on the ground with his sword pointed to his neck. Naruto smirked and said, "I forfeit, thank you for the match." With that Mifune got Naruto up on his feet. A couple of seconds later the crowd cheered at the amazing match. The proctor shouted, "Winner Mifune, well done Naruto, you should be proud." Naruto thanked the proctor and the contestants left the stage. When they were in the hall 2 blurs hit them each. One Anko Mitarashi hugged him and beginning to check over Naruto to see his injuries. Whilst Mifune had his granddaughter on him. "Oh Anko, Naruto. I want to introduce my granddaughter, Inari-chan. Inari, this is Anko Mitarashi and Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze." "Yo," Naruto just said simply. She just blushed slightly at that, receiving a glare from Anko which was not noticed. "Hey, how you are feeling after the spar?" Inari asked. "Not too bad actually, your old man can sure pack a mean swing." Causing both of them to laugh, ignoring the protests of Mifune saying he isn't old. "Have you seen Iron Country or is it your first time here?" she asked curiously. "Yes, this is my first time. This was supposed to be a delivery mission and now we are waiting for the snowstorm to finish up." Naruto replied coolly. Realizing that Naruto's Jonin sensei is talking to her gramps, she took Naruto by the hand and said, "This won't do, I will show you around." She heard no protests. In the back Mifune chuckled and said, "Ah, I see Inari-chan has started be fond of Naruto." Anko acting like she didn't care, with a sigh she continued talking with the leader of Iron Country. With Inari and Naruto. After changing clothes Naruto asked, "Hey Inari, where we going? You must be hungry after fighting my gramps. I want to show you my favorite restaurant and then I will show you around." With that Naruto chuckled nervously. They entered a large restaurant called Iron's Grove. It had a lavish but not too expensive feeling to it. The clients looked at the two curiously. After getting a table, they started to talk about everything and anything from training in their life. Due to Naruto and Anko staying in the country for a couple more days, the two promised to spar and train together. They have ordered a sharer consisting of wild duck, a platter of fish with rice and vegetable salad. Both won't admit it, but it was fun spending time together. They don't have many friends due to Inari being the granddaughter of the samurai leader, whilst Naruto was a semi-outcast for most of his life. Naruto would consider Shikamaru, Choji, Shino and Kiba as his friends. He isn't sure about Ino but tries to be friendly with her, but he did respect her after saying that he only liked women who are strong. This caused Ino to train. He didn't dislike Sasuke and Sakura at the beginning, but after getting top grades in everything, their relationship spiraled down the hill. Hinata was creepy and downright annoying for him. Due to her he had to have anti-Byakugan seals on him and around his house. Sai and the other students he were neutral too, but Sai sometimes gives him the creeps, but understood the reasons, with him promising to be friendlier towards him. After eating and paying, Inari showed him around the village with Naruto buying some mementos and secretly a necklace for him and Inari each. Continuing on, they both went onto a hill and due to it starting to become nighttime, Naruto could see the lights of the village shining through, with the snow from the snowstorm being at its weakest at this moment. Both of them stayed in silence, neither noticing the proximities of their bodies to one another. They ended up leaning on each other whilst being in a comfortable silence. He gave the necklace to Inari, and showed that he had the same one, which she hugged the blonde in thanks. However, all good things must come to an end when the both of them heard a cough behind them. With a slightly annoyed tone the person said, "Here you are Gaki, I was looking for you. I hope you enjoyed your time, now we are going to the hotel." Naruto sighed sadly at this but stood up with Inari following suit. Naruto being a gentleman, he walked Inari home, but he also was allowed to visit nearly all of the capital without worry, unlike Suna. When they reached her home Inari hugged him and said, "See you tomorrow Naruto." With that she waved off. Having enough irritation today she asked, "So how was the day with her and Inari?" "It was pretty good, we went to eat then she showed me around the city. Finally we went to see the lights of the village up on the hill when you found us," replied a smiling Naruto. "That's good Gaki, but what is the talk about tomorrow?" She expertly hidden some of her jealousy. "Oh yeah, we are going to have a spar and possibly teach each other." With that he started to walk to the hotel. "Geez, I swear whenever we go on a mission, he gets a girl to fall for him." Then she mentally growled and started to catch up to Naruto. Next day, Anko had to continue with the meeting with Mifune, so Naruto and Inari met up in the training field under Naruto's hotel, with the blonde seeing if he would be compatible with the Earth Sword the next day. "So Inari, how do you want to do this today?" With a mischievous smirk she answered, "Well, a warm-up is a given. Then I want to go up against you in Kenjutsu. I also want to see some of your tricks." With a smirk of his own, "Give it your best." After warming up and running a couple of laps around the field Naruto asked, "Do you want me to fight with a single blade or with all? Can you use one of your katanas?" With a nod, they both crouched and with high chunin speeds they went for each other. With multiple slashes, blocks, kicking the first blood went to Naruto when he enhanced his katana with water chakra causing a sharp crescent moon of water to erupt and only cutting Inari's left arm a bit to only make it bleed a little. She smirked, "So first blood goes to you hey," she said in between regaining her breath. With a teasing tone Naruto replied with, "Hey, want to go another round?" A small blush appeared on her face thinking of the double meaning that sentence had. She shook her head, "Possibly later. Let's have a break for lunch and I want to see what ninjas can do." Now she was using the puppy eye no jutsu. Naruto sighed in defeat but agreed. "Okay, do you have anything specific? Can you show me one of your most powerful jutsu? If you want to have every samurai here in the matter of seconds then no, but I will show you one of my favorite and strongest techniques." With a smirk he created two one-handed seals thinking, lava style. Lava golem. And once again he repeated the process but with different seals and mentally said, ice style. Ice dragon. He saw Inari with stars in her eyes. These two are elemental creations lava golem and draconic ice golem. They are both S-rank techniques but can go higher if I push more chakra into it. The lava golem was standing at 10 meters tall, the draconic ice golem at 10 meters tall and 25 meters long. "That is so cool," she gushed with excitement, but with a tilt to her head she asked, "Wouldn't the lava golem melt the ice one if they fight?" Naruto smirked widened, "Logically yes. Realistically no, due to them having a special property allowing them not to be destroyed until I say so or a Bijudama hits them." "Can you make them fight?" "Sure, let's more back. It will definitely be interesting." Kurama was enjoying itself as not every day it could see, so speaking, "Oi Naruto, create a shadow clone for me, I want to control the ice creation." "Sure thing Kurama." With that Naruto created a shadow clone of himself but this time it had red eyes. Naruto then said, "Ready?" With a nod the battle of two beasts began. The dragon was able to fly so it did and began shooting ice out of its mouth. The lava golem started to throw globs of lava at it. But when the globs didn't work the lava golem hit the ground with his right leg causing a geyser of lava to shoot out. The dragon moved out of the way and began to beat its wings causing an ice storm to appear. The golem then threw its hand out making a lasso of lava and trying to catch the dragon. The dragon didn't relent and with its tail expanding beat the lasso away from itself. Then with the same understanding as before, Naruto and Kurama made their own beasts fight each other in close-quarter combat by having the dragon dive bomb to the golem, which created a lava wall to protect itself. The dragon went through itself onto the lava creation and then a grappling match ensured. I think this is enough, as I doubt they will end themselves for a couple of hours. Kurama spoke up, still in Naruto's voice, "Thanks for creating me, next time I will beat you." With a fist bump, Kurama dispelled and Naruto lost the control over the two beasts, making them crumble. "Wow, that was awesome," Inari said with excitement. "Thanks, I guess." Naruto rubbed the back of his head, still not fully used to getting praised from someone with this much excitement and no ulterior feelings. Leaving time, Naruto and Anko were at the gates. Seeing them off was Mifune, Inari and a couple of his guards. "I will hopefully see you soon, guys," Naruto said. Inari looked up to Naruto and said, "Don't worry, Gramps and I are going to see the Chunin exams in Konoha this year, so you better be there," she said with a knowing smirk. Naruto smirked at that and suddenly received a hug from Inari, who he reciprocated to that, with a whisper, "Thank you for the time you spent with me and be careful out there." Naruto nodded, but suddenly he was kissed on the cheek by Inari. She giggled and ran behind her grandfather, whilst holding the necklace that Naruto got her. It was a red crystal that had a black metal wrapped intrinsically around one side, with it having a brown string connected to that end. Mifune came up to him and offered his hand to Naruto, who did the same. "Be careful on the way back, you guys, and hopefully we will see each other soon. Naruto gets stronger, I can't wait for our rematch." Naruto smirked at that and replied, "I can't wait either, old man." He laughed whilst Mifune had a twitching eyebrow. He then said his goodbyes to Anko as well. Now Naruto and Anko waved back and ran towards Konoha. "You enjoyed your time here, Gaki?" "I did, thanks Anko-sensei." "How do you think the people back home are?" Naruto asked as they were nearly 2 weeks out of the village. Leaf Village. Danzo stormed into Hiruzen's office saying loudly, "Hiruzen." This was 2 days prior to Anko and Naruto leaving the capital of Iron Country. Hiruzen, not expecting the visit, replied with, "Yes? We caught a spy from Iwa with interesting news." A tight smile was present on the elder's face. This sent warning bells to everyone in the room, from the Hokage to hidden Anbu. This made the third Hokage stiffen. "Have they figured out? How did you catch them and what info did they give?" Danzo replied with, "He was spotted asking multiple people about Naruto, or more specifically his surname Namikaze, a clumsy one if I say so myself. What he said worried me though. They know that Naruto and Anko will be coming back from Iron, so they will try to interfere and kill him then. A team was already sent out, that is what I got from my spies in Iwa." This made the leader of the hidden village have a scowl on his face. "Did you send a team yet?" Danzo nodded. "I have sent 10 Root Anbu there to support, but I worry they may not arrive on time." Hiruzen sighed to that. "We will see how they will fare. Naruto is truly unpredictable with his skills, but hopefully Anko and he would be enough before the backup arrives." With Naruto, what the fuck? That was the only thing Naruto could think. In front of him and Anko were 12 shinobi with low Jonin and above chakra signatures, but he sensed another couple of ninjas hidden around. "You damn Namikaze, we will kill you for what your father did to us during the Third Shinobi War." A stone shinobi shouted. With a chorus of yes and laughs, the battle started. Naruto just thought, "Oh fuck, I need to deal with them." One stone shinobi yelled, "Earth style. Earth dragon." But to his and everyone's surprise, Anko stood there waiting for Naruto to finish so only the blonde would fight. However, Anko will help if her student would be overwhelmed, which she doubted. Naruto disappeared and used the Raijin no Ken and Sujin no Ken to split the dragon in half. Using chakra in his blades, he done a sideways swing, mixing the two elements together, getting 2 stone Jonins to split in half, without even realizing what happened. "What have you done, brat?" One of the enemy ninjas yelled, and therefore he shouted, "Earth style. Mud river." With another shouting, "Earth style. Earth spikes." With that, a mud river came flowing towards Naruto and 8 spikes risen out of the ground. One narrowly missed Naruto though. Kunai and shuriken with some explosive tags were sent his way, with Iwa shinobi distancing themselves from each other. Naruto smirked and with one hand to the ground he used the explosion release, explosive ground, and with the other, he used magnet release to alter the paths of the weapons to go around him. However, the stone shinobi were wondering what happened, and when they thought the jutsu failed and started to laugh, one Jonin moved a step forward and exploded. "What did you do?" One of the shinobi said, slightly scared. "The explosion release jutsu he created encompassed all ninjas, including the ones hiding, except one who was hiding far away. An easy jutsu I created with my explosion release." The stone shinobi froze and Naruto's smirk widened. "If you move or even use chakra you'll go boom. So tell me, what does the fence sitter want with me?" With a couple of scowling faces and 4 more Jonins trying to move but exploding, one brave one said, "If we tell you, you won't kill us?" They might have realized that pissing off the son of Minato Namikaze wouldn't have been a good idea. They only thought that he would be of genin strength. "If your information is good enough to me and you will give all of your scrolls in your possession, I will let you go free." Naruto also had an innocent smile that slightly widened into a smirk. "But if I let you go but you attack, I will let my toys play with you." With a couple of one-handed seals, he said one of his recently most used jutsu, lava style. Lava golem. Then a golem of the size of 25 meters tall dripping hot lava rose to the right of Naruto. This made them even more terrified. The information that they gained on him was severely incorrect. They thought it would be an easy kill with them becoming the heroes of Iwa. Onoki-sama had nothing to do with it. "It was the council who made us do this." This surprised the one who was following the group, especially as her grandfather said for her to follow that group. "They said for us to kill you as we knew you would go to Iron Country." Naruto nodded. "Can we move to give you scrolls?" Naruto sighed and with one hand manipulated the ground, saying, "You can move, but if you don't do what I say you still will go boom." They nodded fast, wanting to live, so the surviving Jonins gave Naruto their scrolls, including some taijutsu, genjutsu and ninjutsu, but some that had food supplies and so on. But the genin just gave it back, not interested in them. Ninja usually held some scrolls, so they could learn or train during their missions. "You can go, but if I see any of you again your cage and council will have less shinobi." He said that whilst releasing some of his and Kyuubi's killing intent. They nodded and run off. In the trees, one Iwa's princess said, "You sure are one interesting individual, Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze." She saw the blonde looking at her and winked, causing her to stiffen and blush. Out of embarrassment, Naruto guessed. With that she finally left. "Well, that was interesting, won't you say so, Anko-sensei?" Naruto said offhandedly. Anko shook her head in amusement. "You know I barely even teach you Gaki, although you know that they lied about the council, right?" Not admitting his interrogation tactics were a little hot for her. With a tilt to his head he said, "You're teaching me enough, Anko-sensei, and also visiting other places. It is nice spending time with you or even sparring." "Yes, I caught on about them lying about their council. It was most likely Onoki, with him most likely saying to blame Iwa's council, as it is more of a dictatorship than any other hidden village over there," he explained. Anko had a light smile and jumped down to the ground. She ruffled his head and said, "Let's go home, Gaki." With her nodding on the information. Konoha a couple days later, and the rest of the journey home we only found 2 bandit camps which Naruto eliminated quickly and efficiently. Anko finished her reply. They already collected the bounties for the missing ninjas they found on the way to Iron before the meeting. Danzo and Hiruzen nodded to that and the third continued, "Okay, I want a written report by tomorrow. You will get paid for 1 B rank and 2 C rank missions due to bandit elimination missions." Naruto smiled at that. "Have some time off you too. Although Anko, we have an influx of people to interrogate, so whenever you have rested up could you help the T and I?" Anko nodded with a bloodthirsty grin that didn't bother Naruto or the 2 elderly people. Danzo quickly asked Naruto, "We will train again in 2 days, meet in the same place at 7 a.m. "Yes, Danzo-sensei." But then Naruto turned to his gramps, "Gigi, when will I get my inheritance?" "You can go to the Uzumaki Namikaze compound now. The money that was borrowed from the counselors and the rest is already on the account. You just need to go to the bank and join yours and the clan account together." "Thank you." With that, Naruto and Anko left to get some dango. Sometime later, after getting a shit ton of dango, Naruto asked, "Nay Anko-sensei, want to see the compound together, and if you want, do you want to live in the compound?" He asked as he knew that her apartment wasn't the safest, and occasionally had break-ins. This didn't only caught the ear of one Anko but one other genin who loves to spy on her crush. This completely surprised Anko. With a genuine smile she answered, "Sure Naruto." She couldn't really say no, as Naruto did ask the same question but asked her to think about it, as he would ask the same question later on, which was now. When the duo came to the Uzumaki Namikaze compound, they saw the 3 meters tall wall which had the Uzumaki swirl with the Namikaze lightning bolt on top of it, symbolizing the unity of the two clans. When they came upon the gates, Naruto saw the blood seal on it, so he cut his finger and pressed it to the gate and pushed some chakra. Entering the compound, they couldn't help but gasp. The area was based on traditional Japanese style. They looked at the main house in the center, which had 2 floors. There was a passage to a building seeming to be a blacksmith's workshop. The library when entered had 2 floors above ground and 2 more underneath. At the back was a massive training field that consists of different training areas such as grassy meadows, woodland, watery with a small beach and a small rocky cliff. There was a garden that had plants that were used for medicine and poison growing, with some seals that creates the perfect environment to grow, although they were all overgrown, but still usable. Finally, there was an onsen. This made them happy. Naruto realized everything was kept clean by seals, which were placed most likely by Mito Uzumaki or his parent. The main house was organized by levels. The base floor was a kitchen, toilet and a living room. The first floor had a main bedroom and 2 more rooms, each having a bathroom. Finally, they found a basement which was converted to an underground training facility. It consists of training reaction speed and practicing different techniques in secret. Naruto smirked. So Anko-sensei, what you say? Still want to move in with me? Sure brat, it will be fun, especially the onsens. After a while of thinking, what will you do about your base though? Thinking for a while for an answer, I will most likely fill that up with earth, after I cleared everything up. But before that I would have to increase the protecting on this compound so nothing and no one could go in without being allowed to. Later on I will need some of your blood and chakra to log you in. After that I will need to secure the library, so if we want to bring some guests in then no one can go to the library for no good reason, and then finally get my clones to use the teleportation jutsu to get all of the scrolls and equipment here. Naruto continued to plan with Kurama butting in time to time, giving helpful suggestions. What of training? Do you want to train here, Gaki? And why do you not want anyone seen inside? Asked a curious Anko. With a sigh he answered, there is one annoying Hyuga. Her name is Hinata and she stalks me nearly all of the time. Instead of training or getting a life, she stalks me around and uses her Byakugan whenever I'm free. She was staring at us at the Dango place. With a sympathetic, oof, Naruto continued, as both knew that they couldn't really do anything against it due to some legal loopholes, but training-wise, I don't mind Anko-sensei, we can do it here or on the other training ground. With a nod from Anko, Naruto produced 100 shadow clones and started to give out orders. I want 20 of you to go around the compound to note down all of the seals and fix them if needed. I want another 20 to upgrade all protection seals but add new ones. I want this compound to be as safe or safer than the base we had, but don't do the library. With those 40 clones leaving to do their job, the seals that they will be adding will be advanced chakra absorption, anti-peeking, illumination, silencing, detection and other protection seals on the everything around the compound, but mostly on the walls and the onsen. I want 10 of you to get everything from my apartment, with another 10 to go with Anko-chan to hers after I get some of her blood and chakra, to allow her entry without me being present. Then I want all 20 to go to the market and get everything necessary, including food. 10 of them left with the other 10 clones waiting. He didn't realize that he called his teacher Anko-chan, but the mentioned person sure did, with her having a light coating of a blush covering her cheeks. I want 10 to go to the training ground and modify it for our need. Add a big waterfall and anything you deem useful. Finally the rest, I want you to make the library to be the safest, safer than our base's library, and clean it up too. Then start bringing everything from the base to the new library, and catalog and organize the books and scrolls present there already. With that, those clones left to do their duty. The blonde gave further orders by mind to those clones to deal with the treasury, spy network room and the lab, that had his top secrets that only he and Kurama knew about. Finally Naruto created 20 more clones that all transformed into insects for them to patrol the grounds and to give more security. Anko giggled at Naruto. That sure was something, Gaki. With a small smile, sure was. If you want you can collect your stuff, and when you are back, I will code you in when you come back, as I need to find the master key seal. Anko smiled and hugged him and left to get her stuff and tell her friends. With Hinata, she wanted to go with them but they were too fast for her and she was too shy. When she used her Byakugan to see the compound she wanted to stay there. But when she overheard about him putting the anti-Byakugan seals she wanted to protest but it was too late, possibly she could enter the compound before the seals could be put on. When she decided to do that 30 minutes later, she couldn't enter undetected so she went to a nearby roof and used her Byakugan to see in. After another 30 minutes she couldn't see in the compound completely, and normal eyes saw nothing even when she knew Naruto clones were around the grounds. She was debating with herself what to do and possibly ask her dad about helping her, but she shook her head, knowing that he would reject her proposal. She had to go back to her compound due to the elders wanting her to fight her cousin, which hated her. 2 hours later, Naruto had signed Anko in and now they were looking in their new rooms. Anko had a king's bed with a window view of the front garden, she had a walk-in wardrobe and a bathroom she could use. Additionally it had a bookshelf and a desk. This room was nearly as big as her apartment. Naruto's room was the same except him having a bigger bathroom and a view of the training field. The blonde spoke up then, "I have food for a celebration if you want. I have dango, ramen, sushi and some other foods." Anko's eye sparkles, "And I have some sake. Want to eat it in the onsen?" She said the last bit with a small smirk. The onsen was a mixed one. The design was that the water was under the sky, but it had protection from leaves, rain and snow. Naruto, understanding her game, said, "Sure Anko-chan tilde," which caused Naruto and Anko to have a small barely noticeable blush on. But both didn't want to get outdone by the other. "Naruto, what will you do if you have multiple scrolls of the same jutsu?" "I usually have it stored in a massive storage seal that keeps things safe. Why?" "I have my own jutsu including nen, tai and genjutsu. Can I add it to the library?" "Would it be possible if I too use the library?" Now she said the last bit timidly. With a gentle smile Naruto answered, "Even without giving your own techniques you could, Anko-sensei." They shared a hug and then had a fun night with a tipsy Naruto, as Kurama didn't filter all of the alcohol from Naruto's system. The next day, after 6 hours of training with Danzo, Fu and Torun, the blonde returned back with him, meeting Anko also coming back from interrogating spies that were caught. During that time, Naruto sent out a wood clone to go to the mission office to request D-rank missions that dealt with learning. With him receiving 4 missions that related to what he asked, the clone produced 15 more clones and completed it during the original training time. Now the both of them were finishing their food when Naruto began saying, "Anko-sensei, can we go to the library? My clones might have an idea how to deal with your seal without causing you harm." Anko brightened up and with her hand she got Naruto's and sprint walked to the library. After Naruto seeing the seal, he spoke, "This is a seal similar to what you asked me to do. It converts nature chakra and powers up the seal, but it also has a minor commanding seal that can give you some unwanted ideas, a transformation seal and finally a soul seal. Can you remove it, please?" Anko begged. She didn't want to deal with the pain and the bad memories that were associated with the seal. After thinking for a couple of seconds, "I can remove it, but I need to warn you. Removing the soul part of the seal will hurt a lot. If I remove this you will most likely be chakra depleted for some time, but I can heal you up there in no time. Otherwise I can do it now." Anko smiled weakly and thanked him with a teary smile. "Okay, I need you to remove your shirt and lay on your back. I can cover you too if you want." With a small blush, she teased, "You can see if you want." With a small blush he nodded, so when she took off her shirt, Naruto could see Anko's large S with small but upward turned. He shook his head and started to work. Firstly he had to remove the seal with Uzumaki Fuin. Level 13 curse mark purification. Then he silently spoke about being sorry as it will hurt, Uzumaki Fuin. Soul mark removal. Mind you, it took him an hour to put the seals on, and after the second seal was placed, Anko screamed in pain with her soon going unconscious, with a small white snake coming out with Naruto capturing it. He gave it to a clone that went to place it in the hidden lab. It took another 15 minutes to remove everything, then he placed a seal that replenishes her own chakra on the right bicep and pushed some chakra for her to replenish hers. Then he put her cloak on and carried her to the bed. To say the least that Naruto was kissed and hugged to death was an understatement of the century. In the village hidden in the stones, he could have killed every single one of them. "Gramps. He even noticed me," said the girl who observed Naruto's fight. "I see, Thank you Kuritsuchi. So he not only has lava, explosion and most likely magnet release, but for my spies he also has ice and wood release. This made the younger girl open her mouth wide open. The old Keijo Noki was neutral towards the Yondaime Hokage Minato Namikaze as he knew that it was war then. But the young man who his granddaughter saw and the spies reported made him put Naruto on the bingo books. He agreed on this mission to test him, but to also find out more information about him, as the Chunin exams would be starting in a couple of months. Rock, he shouted to call his Anbu, put Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze in the bingo book at the rank of